You're exactly where you need to be right now. Settling in for the night, maybe under soft blankets, maybe in that familiar position your body knows means rest is coming. And while the world outside might have told you today that you're not strong enough, not fit enough, not powerful enough, tonight we're going to remember something your DNA has never forgotten. Your body already knows it's time to rest.
Can you feel it?
That subtle shift happening in your muscles, that gentle release in your shoulders. For 300,000 years, humans have found peace in stories told as darkness falls. This is that same ancient ritual just carried forward through impossible time to reach you right here, right now. Let your mind wander where it wants to go. There's no test tomorrow, no quiz, no pressure to remember every detail. This is just you and me, sitting by the same fires that warmed your ancestors, talking about things that matter in ways that let you finally, peacefully, completely relax. 50,000 years ago, as the sun dipped below frozen valleys and painted the ice sheets in shades of gold and purple, a Neanderthal man stood at the entrance of his cave. His name is lost to time, but his bones remain, and those bones tell us something extraordinary, something that changes everything we think we know about human strength. Something that might change how you think about your own body as you drift towards sleep tonight. He wasn't thinking about his strength. That's the first thing to understand. As he watched the sunset, his mind was on tomorrow's hunt, on his family sleeping safe behind him, on the weather patterns he could read in the clouds.
His body was just his body.
The same way you don't think about your heartbeat or your breathing right now. It just was, but if we could measure that body, if we could somehow test what it was capable of, we'd discover something that would humble every modern athlete, every bodybuilder, every powerlifter, every person who's ever felt inadequate in a gym. Because this man, this ordinary Neanderthal going about his ordinary evening routine, possessed a grip strength of over 500 pounds. His hands could crush things you and I couldn't budge with our entire bodies. Feel your own hands right now, wherever they're resting. Maybe on your chest, maybe by your sides, maybe holding this device. Those hands carry the genetic echo of his hands. The same basic architecture. The same bones, just less dense. The same muscles, just smaller. You're not a different species. You're his distant cousin. His legacy. His descendant who traded raw power for something else, something we'll explore as you drift deeper into this story. The cold air didn't bother him the way it would destroy us. He wore simple furs, yes, but his body generated heat like a furnace. His metabolism burned through 4,000 calories a day, just maintaining that massive frame, those thick bones, that incredible musculature. Where we would die of hypothermia in an hour, he could sleep comfortably through the night in temperatures that would make your warmest jacket feel like tissue paper. As darkness completed its arrival, he turned back into the cave. The fire inside cast dancing shadows on walls that had sheltered his family for generations.
Can you picture it?
Not with harsh modern lighting, but with that soft, warm, orange glow that's lived in human DNA for 1 million years. The glow that still makes us feel safe. The glow that's helping you relax right now, even if you're nowhere near a fire. His children were already settling in for sleep. The youngest, maybe 5 years old, had spent the day climbing cliffs that would challenge modern adult rock climbers. Spent it playing, laughing, being a child. But that play had developed grip strength that would exceed a modern man's, had built bone density that anthropologists still struggle to explain, had created a human being of impossible physical capacity.
All through just living, the Neanderthal man settled beside the fire.
His weight causing the stone beneath him to compress in ways that would leave marks archaeologists would puzzle over 50,000 years later. 230 pounds of muscle and bone, built not in a gym, but through the simple act of surviving.
Through carrying,
through climbing, through wresting food away from predators, through living in a world that demanded everything from a body just to see another sunrise. But here's what matters as you settle deeper into your own rest. He wasn't superior to you. He was just different.
Adapted to a world so harsh we can barely imagine it.
A world where that incredible strength wasn't optional, wasn't impressive, wasn't worthy of comment. It was just baseline, the minimum requirement to exist. You live in a different world. A world that required different adaptations, different strengths. Tonight we're going to honor both. We're going to walk through his world, understand his power, and recognize why you don't need it. Why your so-called weakness is actually your victory. Why everything turned out exactly as it should have. Feel your breathing starting to match something ancient.
Not forced, not conscious, just resonating with a rhythm that goes back before language, before culture, before everything we think of as civilization.
Your body remembers this rhythm. It's been waiting all day to return to it, as our Neanderthal friend lay down beside his family, as his children curled against him for warmth and safety. As his breath began to deepen into sleep, he had no idea he was part of something vast. No idea that his strength would vanish from the earth within a few thousand years. No idea that his distant cousins, weaker but more adaptable, would inherit everything. No idea that one of those descendants would be lying in a soft bed 50,000 years later, thinking about him as they drift towards sleep. You're that descendant.
You're the answer to everything his life built toward.
And tonight you're going to understand why that's perfect.
Why you're perfect.
Why everything that feels like inadequacy is actually victory written in genetic code you carry in every cell. Let your eyes grow heavy if they want to. Let your mind start to wander. Let the modern world, with all its demands and comparisons and judgments, start to fade like smoke on ancient wind. You're safe here. You're exactly where you need to be. And this story, this journey into deep time, is going to help you sleep better than you have in weeks. Because for the next couple of hours, we're going to walk in their world.
Feel what they felt. Understand what they understood.
And then peacefully, gratefully, we're going to return to your world, to your body, to your perfectly adapted, wonderfully sufficient, beautifully modern self, ready to sleep like your ancestors slept, deep, complete, restorative, perfect. The fire crackles. The Ice Age wind howls outside the cave. And inside, surrounded by family, protected by ancient wisdom, one Neanderthal man drifts into sleep. Join him. The journey is just beginning. And you have nothing to prove, nothing to achieve, nothing to become. Just rest, just listen. Just let the story carry you somewhere that helps everything else fall away. Let go of every failed workout, every time you struggled to open a jar,
every moment you felt physically inadequate, every comparison that made you feel less than.
Just let it all drain out of you like water through ancient stone. Because none of it was ever about you being deficient. It was about living in a world that never required you to develop what Neanderthals needed to survive. Your ancestors wouldn't judge you. That's the first thing they'd want you to know. If they could somehow see you now, warm and safe and soft, they wouldn't see weakness. They'd see victory. They'd see someone who doesn't have to carry 200 pounds of meat for 12 miles just to feed their family. They'd see someone who survived so completely that survival itself became easy. That strength became optional. Picture yourself as a Neanderthal baby, born into a world of ice and stone and constant physical challenge.
You don't choose to become strong.
You don't have a workout routine. You don't have a trainer or a diet plan or a mirror to judge yourself in.
You just grow. And as you grow, the world shapes you the way water shapes rock.
Through constant, relentless, inescapable pressure. At 2 years old, you're gripping branches as your mother carries you up cliffs. Your tiny hands developing crushing strength just to hold on, just to not fall, just to survive another day.
There's no praise for this, no celebration.
It's just what happens. The same way you learn to walk, they learn to grip with impossible force. Unconsciously. Automatically. necessarily. By 5 years old, you're climbing trees that modern adult rock climbers would need equipment for.
But you don't think about it.
You're playing, chasing, exploring, being a child, and every moment of that play is building bone density that won't exist in humans again for 50,000 years. Building muscle fiber that's thicker, denser, more efficient than anything modern training can produce. Not because you're special, because your world demands it. Feel your own shoulders releasing right now. Feel that tension you've been carrying about your body, about your strength, about your adequacy. Feel it starting to dissolve. Because you're beginning to understand something profound.
Your weakness isn't a moral failing.
It's not laziness.
It's not lack of discipline.
It's environmental adaptation. It's evolution's way of saying, you don't need this anymore. I've got something better for you. At 10 years old, that Neanderthal child is on hunts, keeping pace with adults for hours, helping drag kills back to camp.
Lifting and carrying and climbing and running and fighting and surviving every single day.
Their body has no choice but to respond. Hormones flooding their system. Growth factors activated by constant mechanical stress. Bones laying down density with every impact.
Muscles tearing and rebuilding stronger with every challenge. But here's what we miss when we envy them. They didn't enjoy this.
They weren't proud of their strength. They weren't flexing in cave paintings or competing to see who could lift the most. They were just trying not to die, just trying to eat, just trying to see another sunrise. Their strength was purchased with suffering we can barely comprehend. You've been lying there, getting more comfortable, your breathing getting slower and deeper.
Can you feel it? That ancient rhythm we talked about earlier, finding you.
Your body knows this is right, knows this story is true, knows that understanding this truth means you can finally stop judging yourself against impossible, irrelevant standards. By 15, that Neanderthal teenager had bone density that exceeds modern adult males by 40%, had grip strength that would snap baseball bats, had leg strength that could crack walnuts between their knees. Teenagers, children really, could outlift, outcarry, outrun, everything any modern human who ever lived. Even Olympic athletes, even people who dedicate their entire lives to physical development. And they achieved all of this by simply existing in their world. There was no workout plan.
No protein supplements. No gym membership. No motivation speeches.
Just constant, grinding, inescapable physical challenge from the moment they could walk until the day they died. Usually young, usually violently, usually in ways we've completely forgotten are possible. Modern humans are born into different circumstances. You probably spent your childhood sitting, in cars, in classrooms,
On couche.
on soft surfaces that never challenged your bones to grow dense, in climate-controlled environments that never forced your metabolism to burn hot, in safety that never required your body to develop crushing strength just to hold on to your mother while she climbed. This isn't a criticism. This is observation.
This is understanding.
This is the key that unlocks the prison of comparison you've been living in. You were perfectly adapted to your environment, the same way they were perfectly adapted to theirs.
You're not broken. You're not weak.
You're not failing. You're succeeding at being exactly what your world requires. Let that sink in as you sink deeper into relaxation. Let it permeate every cell,
Every muscle.
every bone. You are not inadequate. You are not less than. You are precisely, perfectly, exactly what you should be, what you need to be, what evolution has shaped you to be across thousands of generations. The Neanderthal child growing into impossible strength couldn't sit still and focus for hours, couldn't process abstract concepts,
Couldn't cooperate with strangers.
couldn't innovate or create or imagine alternative futures. Their brain resources went to spatial navigation, threat detection, and motor control. They were physical perfection. But that perfection came with costs we'll explore deeper as you drift deeper into this ancient story. Feel your jaw unclenching. Feel your shoulders dropping even further. Feel your whole body recognizing truth when it hears it. You've been carrying shame that never belonged to you. Guilt about weakness that isn't even real weakness, just difference. Comparison that was always false from the beginning. And tonight, finally, you get to let it go. The modern environment systematically prevents the development of Neanderthal strength. Soft surfaces don't stimulate bone growth. Climate control doesn't force metabolic adaptation. Abundant food doesn't require constant hunting and carrying. Safety doesn't demand grip strength for survival.
And this isn't failure of modern world.
This is its triumph. This is what winning looks like. Comfort, ease, the freedom to develop other capacities. As you continue relaxing, as your mind continues opening to this ancient truth, notice how different you feel from when we started. That tight knot of inadequacy loosening. That voice that tells you you're not enough getting quieter.
That comparison trap losing its power.
Because you're starting to see what they saw, survival takes many forms, and yours is working perfectly. Every human who ever lived was perfectly adapted to their moment, their place, their challenges. The Neanderthals were perfect for the Ice Age. Modern humans are perfect for the modern age.
And you, right here, right now, drifting towards sleep, with ancient wisdom integrating into your unconscious mind.
You're perfect for your life, your challenges, your world. Let that be enough.
Let that be everything.
Let that thought carry you deeper into rest, knowing that nothing about you needs to change for you to be complete. You already are. You always were. You just needed to remember what your DNA has known all along. You're the victory, not the defeat. The answer, not the question. The success story, not the failure. Breathe that in. Breathe out any remaining tension. And let's continue walking back through time together, understanding more about them so you can understand more about yourself. So you can sleep tonight like you haven't slept in years. Complete, accepted, enough. You've made it through another day in your world, and now you're exactly where you belong. Resting, recovering, letting your body do what it's designed to do when the sun goes down and the demands stop and peace becomes possible again. Feel how right this is.
How natural.
How deeply your body has been waiting for this moment all day. In a laboratory in Leipzig, Germany, a paleoanthropologist holds a forearm bone in her hands. It's 50,000 years old, preserved perfectly in permafrost, and it's telling her something impossible. The bone is so dense she initially thinks it must be from a much larger animal, but no, it's human, Neanderthal, and the density markers, the attachment points for muscles, the compression patterns, they're revealing forces that shouldn't be possible for a primate this size. She runs the calculations 3 times, checks them with colleagues, submits them for peer review, and every analysis comes back the same. The being who owned this arm had a grip strength exceeding 500 pounds. For context, modern professional grip strength athletes, people who train specifically to crush things with their hands, top out around 280 pounds.
And they're genetic outliers doing specialized training.
Their entire lives, this was just some Neanderthal, average, normal, going about their day 50,000 years ago with the casual ability to crush. Your skull in one hand like you might squeeze a grape.
Not trying, not training, not even aware they were exceptional.
Because they weren't, by their standards.
Everyone they knew could do the same thing. Feel your own hands again, wherever they're resting.
So much gentler than theirs.
So much more precise.
Your hands can type, can write, can create art, can perform surgery, can play instruments, can do 1,000 things their hands never could. But yes, they were stronger.
Much, much stronger. And that's okay. More than okay.
That's perfect adaptation to different needs. The bone tells other stories too. Microscopic fractures that healed wrong, suggesting injuries that would hospitalize modern humans for months.
They just kept using the arm.
Kept carrying, kept hunting.
Kept surviving. Because they had no choice.
Pain was constant. Injury was normal. Their bodies existed in a state of damage and repair that never ended until death finally ended it for them. When scientists estimate bench press capability from skeletal remains, they're making educated guesses based on leverage, muscle attachment points and bone density. Conservative estimates put Neanderthal upper body pressing strength at 400–500 pounds.
That's not their maximum.
That's what they could do casually, repeatedly, without warming up. Their 1 rep max was probably closer to 700–800 pounds. Your own body is getting heavier now, isn't it? Sinking deeper into whatever surface supports you. That's good.
That's your nervous system recognizing safety. Recognizing that understanding this ancient strength doesn't diminish you, actually enhances you. Because you're part of this story.
Part of this lineage, part of this incredible journey of human adaptation across time. But here's the detail that changes everything. They didn't build this strength. They were born with most of it. Genetic programming that modern humans simply don't have anymore. We lost those genes, traded them away, and what we got in return was worth it, was necessary, was the only reason you exist to hear this story right now. The bone goes back into climate-controlled storage. The scientist publishes her paper, and somewhere the ghost of that Neanderthal continues not caring about their grip strength because they never knew it was unusual, never compared themselves to anything, never felt inadequate or superior, just existed, just survived, just did what their body could do without thought or judgment or pride or shame. You're learning to do the same thing right now, to just exist, to just be, to let your body be what it is without constant evaluation, to rest without earning it, to accept without achieving. The Neanderthals teach us this without meaning to. They never thought about their strength because thinking about it would have been pointless.
It just was.
The same way your own capabilities just are. Perfect for you, perfect for now, perfect. As your breathing continues to slow and deepen, as your mind drifts further from daily concerns and closer to that ancient state of simple existence, feel yourself connecting across 50,000 years to that Neanderthal whose bones told us this story. They're gone, their strength vanished from Earth, but their wisdom remains. Be what you are without apology, without comparison, without judgment. Just be, just exist, just rest. We'll continue exploring their world, but you don't need to hold on to every fact. Your unconscious mind is processing everything in ways your conscious mind never could. That's how ancient wisdom works. It bypasses thinking and goes straight to knowing.
Straight to peace.
Straight to the kind of rest that actually restores instead of just passing time. The 500-pound grip that changed everything wasn't actually their grip. It was the way understanding their grip changes us, changes how we see ourselves, changes what we think strength means, changes what we think we need to be. And in that change, in that shift of perspective, we find something they never had, the peace to rest completely, to sleep deeply, to wake restored. That's our strength.
That's what we built by trading away theirs. And tonight, you get to fully claim it.
Your breath is matching something ancient now.
Can you feel it?
That rhythm that existed before stress, before comparison, before modern life, complicated everything. This is the rhythm that carried humans through millions of years. The rhythm that's carrying you toward the kind of sleep your body has been craving. Just keep breathing. Just keep relaxing. Just keep drifting with me into their world. Morning light touches frozen landscape 40,000 years ago. Our Neanderthal wakes naturally, no alarm, body perfectly synchronized with sun and season. The transition from sleep to waking takes minutes, not the jarring shock modern humans experience. He stretches. Muscles ripple under skin. Morning air is 15 degrees below zero, but his body barely notices. This is normal. This is Tuesday. His 3-year-old daughter wakes beside him. She's already 50 pounds of dense muscle and bone. In one smooth motion, he lifts her onto his shoulders, carrying what would feel like 80 pounds to your body, and walks out of the cave to survey the territory. She giggles, grabs his hair for balance. Her tiny hands have grip strength that would make your hands cramp trying to match. She's toddler. She's barely left babyhood, and she's already stronger than most modern adults will ever be. They walk 2 miles before breakfast. Uphill. Through snow.
him carrying her the entire way.
Casually chatting in their language we'll never fully understand. To him, this isn't exercise. This is just walking with his daughter, the same way you might stroll to the kitchen. Except his kitchen is a frozen valley, and his stroll is building strength in both of them that would take modern humans years of dedicated training to approach. Feel how light your own body has become. How easy it is to just lie there, supported completely, not fighting anything.
That's what we're learning from them tonight.
Not to be like them, but to be at peace with not being like them. To let your body be exactly what it is, which is exactly what it should be. They find tracks. Recent. Deer herd moving through the valley. He sets his daughter down, shows her how to read the sign. She's learning to be Neanderthal the same way modern children learn to read books. Different skills for different worlds. She'll be on hunts by age 7. Will make her first solo kill by age 10. Will be physically stronger than any man you've ever met by age 15.
All just through living.
Just through existing in a world that demands it. The hunt happens fast. The deer is young, only about 150 pounds. He runs it down. Neanderthals weren't fast, but they could run forever. And when it's exhausted, he kills it with his hands.
No weapon, just hands. Crushes its neck. It's over in seconds.
He feels neither pride nor guilt. This is acquiring food.
This is feeding his family.
This is Tuesday afternoon. Now comes the part that would break modern humans. He hoists the entire deer onto his shoulders.
150 pounds of dead weight.
And he walks home.
6 miles uphill through snow.
Carrying 150 pounds. Stopping occasionally to adjust the weight. To rest for a minute. To drink from a stream. But mostly just walking. Just carrying. Just doing what his body can do. Your modern Olympic strongmen train for years to carry 300 pounds for a few hundred feet. It's a specialized competition that requires dedicated preparation. He's carrying half that weight for 6 miles.
And he's not thinking about it.
His mind is on tonight's shelter repairs.
On his daughter's cough that worries him. On the weather changing.
On everything except the impossible physical feat he's performing without effort. As you sink deeper into this story, as your body gets heavier and your mind gets lighter, notice how your perspective is shifting.
This isn't about making you feel weak.
This is about context, about understanding, about recognizing that strength has always been contextual, environmental, temporary. They had theirs. You have yours, both perfect for their moment. He arrives home, sets the deer down like you might set down grocery bags. A bit tired, but nothing serious. His partner begins the butchering process. She's handling 150 pounds of dead animal like it's a craft project.
Rolling it.
Repositioning it.
Her strength matching his.
Neanderthal women weren't weaker than men, not meaningfully. They all had to be strong. Gender was less relevant than simple survival necessity. Evening comes. Shelter needs repair. Stones need moving. Big stones. 200 pounds each. He picks one up, waddles it over to the cave entrance, sets it down, goes back for another. What would require a crew of modern humans with equipment, he does alone over an hour. Gets it done.
Sits by fire, eats, tells stories.
Plays with his daughter. Falls asleep satisfied that today was productive. All of this was easy for him. Not in that it required no effort, everything required effort in his world, but easy in that it was within his normal capabilities. His Tuesday, his regular day, the same way your Tuesday might involve sitting in meetings or running errands or working at a computer. Different demands, different capabilities, different worlds, but equally human, equally valid, equally alive. Let your body continue melting into rest. Let this vision of ancient strength help you appreciate modern ease. You don't have to carry deer carcasses, don't have to move 200-pound boulders, don't have to survive in worlds that would kill you in hours. You get to rest, to be safe, to be soft. And that's not weakness.
That's winning.
That's the whole point of everything evolution did to get you here. The Neanderthal sleeps tonight like he does every night. Deep, complete. No anxiety about his strength, because strength is just there.
Like breathing. No comparison, because there's nothing to compare to. No judgment, because judgment requires leisure they never had.
Just sleep, just rest, just recovery for another day of effortless power. You're sleeping toward that same quality of rest tonight, not through their strength, but through your understanding, through accepting what you are, through releasing what you aren't, through making peace with the body you have, which is the only body you'll ever need. Perfect, sufficient, exactly right. Just like theirs was for them, just like yours is for you.
Time fades as we go deeper into ancient bodies.
Your sense of minutes and hours is dissolving, which is exactly right. Clock time is modern invention. Your body knows older time, dream time. The time that moves like honey, like rivers, like continental drift.
Let yourself move in that time now.
No rush, no schedule. Just flowing forward through this story that's helping everything else fade away. If we could somehow put a Neanderthal muscle cell under a microscope next to yours, the difference would be shocking.
Not subtle.
Not slight, profound. Your muscle fibers are beautiful, functional, perfectly adequate for modern life. Theirs looked like they were designed by someone who only had one goal: generate as much force as possible in as small a space as possible. Muscle fiber density 40% greater than modern humans. Imagine trying to pack 40% more thread into the same piece of cloth. It should be impossible. But their genetic programming found a way. Each muscle belly was simply thicker, denser, more compact, more efficient. The same muscle groups you have, just built with different specifications. Better specifications for generating raw power. Your own muscles are relaxing completely now, aren't they? That's good. That's your body recognizing it doesn't need to be tense, doesn't need to compete, doesn't need to become something it isn't. Your muscles are exactly right for you.
For your life.
For your world. Let them rest.
Let them recover.
Let them just be fast-twitch muscle fibers dominate Neanderthal physiology. These are the fibers for explosive power, for sudden maximum force. Modern humans have maybe 60% fast twitch at best, and that's in genetic elite. Neanderthals were probably 85%. Their bodies were designed for explosive power, always ready, always available, always on tap. But here's the part modern fitness culture never tells you. Fast twitch fibers are exhausting. They burn through energy like fire through dry wood. They require constant fueling. They make rest not optional but mandatory. The Neanderthals paid for their explosive power with vulnerability to starvation, with need for constant food, with bodies that demanded more resources than environment could always provide. Feel your own heartbeat, slow and steady. Your modern heart doesn't need to pump blood to those massive, fast-twitch dominant systems. Doesn't need to support that metabolic demand.
Gets to just
maintain you, keep you alive, keep you comfortable, keep you exactly as you are, which is exactly as you should be. Mitochondrial density in their muscles exceeded modern humans by 30%. Mitochondria are the power plants of cells. More mitochondria means more energy production, means more endurance despite those fast-twitch fibers, means they could explode with power and then do it again and again and again. For hours, for days, until food ran out or they died or something finally stopped them. Modern elite athletes train at altitude, take supplements, do everything possible to increase mitochondrial density by maybe 10%. Maybe. With years of dedicated work, Neanderthals were just born with 30% more. Genetic gift that was also genetic curse, because those mitochondria demanded feeding, demanded resources, demanded more than their world could always provide. Your breathing is so deep now, so steady, like ancient rhythm of tides, of seasons, of life itself. Your body understands this story at a level your mind never could. Understands that their advantages were also disadvantages, that their strengths came with costs, that your apparent weakness is actually efficiency,
actually adaptation.
Actually intelligence written in genetic code. The muscle composition study published in 2019 analyzed Neanderthal remains using new techniques, new technology, new understanding, and every finding confirmed what skeletal evidence suggested. These were beings of extraordinary power, built into ordinary frames.
Not giants, not mutants.
Just humans with different genetic expression, different environmental pressures, different solutions to the eternal problem of survival. Scientists estimate their normal would be modern elite athlete on performance-enhancing drugs. Their baseline was our extraordinary. Their unremarkable was our impossible. And they achieved it all by simply being born into the right genetic lottery in the right environmental context. No choice, no achievement, no pride, just existence. Let that understanding wash over you. Wash away any remaining comparison,
Any lingering inadequacy.
You weren't born into their genetic lottery, weren't shaped by their environment, weren't built for their challenges. You were built for yours, and you're succeeding perfectly at being exactly what your world needs. The muscle fibers that made them invincible also made them vulnerable. Required so much food they could never migrate far from hunting grounds. Required so much energy they couldn't adapt when climate changed. Required so much maintenance their bodies broke down faster, wore out sooner, died younger. Strength is never free. Power always costs. They paid prices you'll never have to pay. As cells tell their ancient story through microscopic analysis, drift deeper into rest, into acceptance, into peace with your own cellular reality, which is absolutely perfect for you. Your muscles don't need to match theirs, don't need to approach theirs, don't need to remember theirs. They just need to carry you through your life, which they do beautifully, reliably, perfectly every single day. The secret of their muscle fibers wasn't actually secret. It was genetic response to environmental pressure maintained over hundreds of thousands of years. You have different genetics responding to different pressures maintained over different time frames. Both valid, both successful, both exactly right for their context. And tonight, in this moment, your context is rest, is peace, is letting everything go. Feel your entire body now supported completely. No tension anywhere, just existing in perfect safety. This is what their strength brought you. This moment, this peace, this ability to rest completely because your world is safe enough, comfortable enough, protected enough that strength became optional. They would be so proud, so grateful, so happy that their distant descendants finally made it.
Finally won. Finally got to rest.
Notice how relaxed you've become, how far you've traveled from the day's stress, the week's anxiety, the month's accumulated tension. You're drifting now in that space between waking and sleeping, where ancient wisdom can reach you, where truth bypasses thinking and goes straight to knowing.
Stay here. This is perfect.
This is exactly where you need to be. A Neanderthal child watches her mother die. She's 6 years old. There was a hunting accident. A reindeer's antler pierced her mother's leg, severing the femoral artery. Death came in minutes despite everyone's desperate attempts to stop the bleeding. The child watches it all. Doesn't scream.
Doesn't break down.
Processes it the way they process everything, with extraordinary present moment focus, minimal emotion, pure survival adaptation. The next morning, the child is gathering firewood. The day after that, she's on a hunt, learning, living, continuing, no therapy, no grief counseling, no extended mourning period.
Not because they didn't feel, they felt deeply, but because feeling couldn't change reality.
Because survival demanded moving forward. Because their minds were built for resilience, the same way their bodies were built for strength. Your own mind is finding unusual peace right now, isn't it? The comparison that usually torments you is quiet. The anxiety that usually whispers is silent. The judgment that usually screams is gone. That's what happens when we touch ancient patterns. When we remember what humans were before modern complications, before stress became chronic, before worry became identity, before anxiety became normal. A Neanderthal man gets separated from his group during a winter storm. He's alone in 40-degree temperatures with minimal supplies.
Alone for 3 months.
3 months. Modern humans lose their minds in solitary confinement after weeks. Breakdown. Develop psychological damage that never fully heals.
He just survives, finds food, makes fire.
Waits for spring. When he reunites with his group, he tells the story the way you might tell a story about traffic.
It happened. It's over.
Move on. No anxiety disorders in Neanderthal remains. No evidence of depression, no signs of the mental illness that plagues modern humans. Not because they were immune, their brains were similar to ours, but because their mental strength was forged the same way their physical strength was, through necessity, through constant challenge, through environment that simply didn't allow mental weakness to exist. Feel your own mind quieting even further. Feel thoughts slowing down. Feel the constant mental chatter that usually dominates, finally fading into something more like silence.
More like peace.
More like the mental state that carried them through impossible challenges without breaking. Their mental strength made their physical strength possible. This is the part modern fitness culture completely misses. You can have the muscles, the bones, the metabolism, but without the mind that doesn't quit, that doesn't panic, that doesn't catastrophize, the body can't perform. The Neanderthals had both. Body and mind forged in the same fire, inseparable, unified, complete. Modern stress hormones destroy muscle growth. Cortisol floods your system from work deadlines, from social media, from news cycles, from relationship drama, from financial pressure. Your body thinks you're in danger constantly, thinks it needs to preserve resources, thinks building muscle would be wasteful, when you might need to run from a predator any second. Except there's no predator, just modern life creating ancient stress responses that sabotage everything. Neanderthals had acute stress.
Real danger. Actual predators.
Genuine survival threats. But when the threat passed, it passed completely. Their cortisol spiked during the hunt, then crashed back to baseline.
No rumination. No replaying.
No anticipatory anxiety about next week's hunt. Just danger, response, safety, rest. Clean cycles.
Healthy cycles.
The cycles your body was designed for, but never experiences anymore. Let your own stress hormones continue dropping. Feel them draining away like water into ancient earth. Each breath out carries more away. Each moment of this story helps your nervous system remember what safety actually feels like. Not the false safety of modern comfort, but the deep safety of being exactly where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you're supposed to do, which right now is rest, is listen, is drift. A Neanderthal woman gives birth alone.
Her group is hunting.
She goes into labor unexpectedly, delivers her baby in a cave, by herself, cuts the cord with a stone tool, cleans the infant, starts nursing. When the group returns 6 hours later, she's sitting by the fire with the baby, ready to discuss tomorrow's plans. No hospital, no epidural.
No support team.
Just her mind saying, this needs to be done, so do it. That's mental strength at a level we can barely comprehend. Not superhuman, very human actually. Just human in conditions that demanded everything. Your mind couldn't do what hers did, because your mind never needed to.
Never trained for it. Never faced it. And that's perfect. That's exactly right.
Different challenges build different capacities, and yours are exactly what you need. Their calm was their secret weapon, more than the muscles, more than the bones, more than any physical advantage. The mental unshakability that let them face charging cave bears without panic, that let them survive winters that would psychologically break modern humans, that let them lose family members and continue functioning. That made everything else possible, but here's what they didn't have: the ability to imagine tomorrow being different from today. The cognitive flexibility that lets you plan, dream, hope, change, adapt without genetic evolution. The mental complexity that creates art, music, story, culture. They had present moment mastery. You have temporal freedom.
Both are forms of strength.
Both are valid, Both are necessary for their contexts. Your own mind is becoming more like theirs in this moment. Not in content, you're infinitely more complex in thought, but in quality, in presence, in the ability to just be here, now, without past or future intruding. This is the gift they can still give us. Not their strength, but their presence. Not their power, but their peace.
Not their muscles, but their minds.
At least the peaceful part. As their minds found perfect stillness each night before sleep, so does yours find it now. All the modern complications falling away, all the psychological complexity that usually torments you going quiet. Just breath, just heartbeat, just this moment, just this ancient story, helping you remember what your nervous system knew before civilization complicated everything. The mental strength that made them invincible also made them inflexible, made them unable to adapt when climate changed rapidly, made them unable to cooperate with strangers beyond their small groups, made them unable to innovate fast enough when modern humans arrived with new strategies, new weapons, new ideas. Mental strength has more than one definition. They had one kind, you have another, both valuable, both limited, both human. Feel yourself letting go of any remaining need to be like them. Any lingering sense that your stress, your anxiety, your modern mental struggles mean you're weak.
You're not weak.
You're processing complexity they never faced.
Handling ambiguity they never knew.
Surviving in psychological landscapes that didn't exist in their time.
Different challenges, different strengths.
Same ultimate goal, make it through another day. Tonight, their mental peace becomes yours. Not because you've earned it through their suffering, but because understanding them helps you understand yourself. Helps you see that your mind is doing its absolute best in impossible circumstances.
That you're succeeding, not failing.
That rest isn't weakness but wisdom.
That sleep isn't escape but integration.
That peace isn't luxury but necessity. Let their ancient mental stillness wash over your modern mental chaos. Let it calm everything.
Soothe everything. Quiet everything.
You don't need to be like them to benefit from remembering them. You just need to let their story do what stories have done for 300,000 years. Help humans process, understand, integrate, rest.
And that's happening right now as you drift deeper, as everything gets quieter, as peace becomes possible again.
Feel your body digesting, building, repairing as you rest here.
Even in stillness, your body is working.
Processing today's food into tomorrow's energy. Breaking down and rebuilding at cellular level. The same processes that sustained your ancestors for millions of years, still sustaining you.
Still perfect.
Still exactly what you need. Trust it, let it work. Let yourself rest while it does what it's always done. The feast after a successful mammoth hunt was something our modern brains can barely process. 3,000 pounds of meat, fat, organs, bone marrow, 20 Neanderthals eating for 3 days straight, consuming 4,000 calories each every single day just to maintain those massive bodies, just to fuel that impossible strength, just to survive another week in a world that demanded everything. 80% of their calories came from animals.
Fat and protein.
Dense, rich, nutrient-complete food that built muscle without effort. They didn't understand macronutrients or meal timing or any modern nutritional concepts. They just ate what their environment provided, and their bodies responded exactly as genetics programmed them to respond. Automatically, perfectly, unconsciously. Your own body is so much more efficient, needs half the calories, can thrive on wider variety, can extract nutrition from plants they could barely digest, can survive famines that would have killed them in weeks.
Evolution didn't make you weaker.
It made you more efficient,
More adaptable.
more capable of surviving in changing conditions.
That's not downgrade. That's upgrade.
That's winning. Bone marrow was delicacy and necessity. They'd crack open massive bones with rocks to get at the fat-rich marrow inside. 70% fat, loaded with nutrients. One mammoth leg bone provided 2,000 calories of pure, dense fuel. Modern humans avoid fat, fear it, demonize it. They consumed it desperately, gratefully, necessarily. Different worlds, different needs, different optimal diets. Let yourself sink deeper into that feeling of being perfectly nourished. Not by what you eat, that's your business, but by this story, by this understanding, by this perspective that feeds something deeper than body, feeds soul, feeds spirit, feeds that part of you that's been starving for permission to be exactly what you are. Organ meats were consumed immediately after kills. Liver, heart, kidneys, brain, the most nutrient-dense parts eaten first, before spoilage, before scavengers arrived. Modern nutritional science confirms what they knew instinctively. Organs contain vitamins, minerals, compounds that muscle meat lacks. They ate everything.
Wasted nothing.
Honored the animal by using every part. No processed foods.
No agriculture.
No sugar, no grains. No foods that require cultivation, preparation, civilization.
Just hunting.
Gathering sparse seasonal plants. Eating what could be killed or found. Their bodies never had to process anything they weren't genetically programmed to process.
Never had to adapt to novel foods. Never had to figure out nutrition.
Just ate, just lived, just grew strong. Your breathing is matching something ancient again. That rhythm we keep returning to. The rhythm that says you're safe, you're fed, you're exactly where you need to be.
Modern confusion about nutrition isn't your fault.
It's the cost of abundance, of variety, of food becoming more than fuel.
They had clarity because they had no choice.
You have confusion because you have options. Both have costs. Both have benefits. 3,000 calories daily minimum. 4,000 during winter when cold burned through reserves like fire through paper. 5,000 for pregnant or nursing mothers. Their caloric needs were extraordinary.
A modern sedentary person needs maybe 2,000 calories.
They needed double or triple that just to maintain. Their strength wasn't free. It was purchased with constant eating, constant hunting, constant risk. Feel your own body so efficiently maintained, so cleverly adapted to getting by on less. Not weakness, efficiency.
Not inadequacy, optimization.
Your body figured out how to build what you need with what you have.
That's intelligence.
That's success. That's exactly what evolution rewards, doing more with less. Thriving where others would fail. Adapting. Surviving. Winning. The Neanderthal diet built their bodies automatically. They didn't count protein grams or track macros or time their meals. They just ate when food was available, often eating nothing for days, then gorging for days.
Feast and famine cycling.
Their bodies adapted, stored fat efficiently, built muscle opportunistically, did whatever was necessary to survive. Modern dietary advice changes yearly, conflicts constantly, creates confusion and stress that probably does more damage than any specific food ever could. They had no advice, no experts, no gurus, just instinct, necessity, and genetic programming that had worked for hundreds of thousands of years. Clean, simple, effective, and completely irrelevant to your modern context. Let go of any guilt about your diet, any shame about what you eat or don't eat, any comparison to ancestral perfection that never actually existed. They ate perfectly for their context.
You're doing your best in yours.
That's all that ever matters.
That's all that's ever been required.
Just survive with what you have. They did. You're doing. Success looks different in different times, but it's all still success. The food that built their impossible bodies also constrained them, forced them to follow herds, locked them into hunting grounds,
Made them vulnerable to game migration patterns.
When herds moved, they had to follow or starve. When game became scarce, they died. Their perfect diet came with perfect vulnerability.
Nothing is free.
Everything trades as they fed their bodies perfectly for their world. Let sleep feed your soul perfectly for yours. Let this story nourish something deeper than muscle. Let understanding build something stronger than bone. Let acceptance create foundation that no physical strength could ever match. You're being fed right now.
Not food, wisdom. Not calories, peace.
Not protein, perspective. And it's exactly what you needed. They never worried about their diet because worry would have been pointless. Food was food. Eat it or die. Simple, clean, clear. You live in complexity they never imagined. Abundance they never knew. Choices they never had. And that complexity, that abundance, those choices, they're your advantage, not your weakness.
They're the proof that you won.
That humans won. That modern life, for all its complications, is victory. Feel your digestion continuing in background. Feel your body taking what it needs, discarding what it doesn't, building what it can. Trust that process. Trust that intelligence. Trust that your body knows what it's doing, same as their bodies knew. Different fuels, different goals, different contexts, but same underlying wisdom. Take care of the human.
Keep them alive. Help them thrive. That's happening. Always has been.
Always will be. The ancient feast continues in genetic memory. Your cells still know how to process meat, fat, protein. Still optimize for feast-famine cycling. Still carrying programming from their world into yours. You're not separate from them. Not divorced from their diet, just adapted, modified, updated. Version 2.0 of the same basic human, running on the same basic biological operating system, just with new software for new conditions. Let that continuity comfort you. Let it ground you. Let it remind you that your body is ancient, wise, capable beyond your conscious understanding. It's been keeping humans alive for millions of years.
It's not going to fail you tonight.
It's going to repair, restore, rebuild while you sleep. Same as it did for them. Same as it does every night. Perfectly, automatically, exactly as it should. Feel the perfect temperature of your sleeping space. The blanket's exactly right. The air around you exactly comfortable. Modern climate control is invisible magic that gives you something they never had. The ability to rest without fighting environment. To sleep without survival mode. To simply be comfortable. Don't take it for granted. This comfort is luxury, purchased by thousands of years of human innovation. This moment is victory.
Appreciate it. Sink into it.
Let it hold you perfectly, minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's not wind chill.
That's actual air temperature on an average ice age winter night in Europe. At that temperature, exposed skin freezes in minutes. Breathing hurts. Metal becomes brittle. Water becomes rock. Modern humans would die in hours without extensive protection. They lived in it, slept in it, survived it. For months at a time. For their entire lives, their bodies responded to chronic cold exposure with adaptations that border on superhuman. Mitochondria multiplied in muscle tissue, generating heat constantly. Brown fat deposits activated, burning calories to produce warmth without shivering. Metabolic rate increased 30% just to maintain core temperature. They were furnaces, walking space heaters, burning through calories to stay alive in temperatures that would stop your heart. Your own body is relaxing deeper, appreciating your temperature-controlled environment, grateful for heating and air conditioning and blankets and shelter. You don't need the adaptations they needed because humans figured out how to control environment instead of just enduring it.
That's not weakness. That's intelligence.
That's the whole point of having big brains. Use them to avoid suffering instead of just becoming tough enough to endure it. They slept in caves that stayed around freezing even with fires, huddled together for warmth, woke up with frost on their fur clothing, started every day in temperatures that would send modern humans running for emergency heat. And they didn't complain, didn't post about it on social media, didn't discuss it around the fire.
Because it was just normal, just reality.
Just Wednesday, cold exposure forced their mitochondria to multiply. More mitochondria meant more energy production. More energy production meant more endurance, more strength, more capacity to perform. Modern biohackers spend thousands of dollars on cold plunge pools and cryotherapy, trying to trigger a fraction of the adaptations they got for free just by existing in Ice Age Europe. They didn't try.
Didn't optimize. Didn't hack.
Just survived. And survival gave them everything. Imagine the satisfying warmth of their fires against brutal cold. The contrast, the relief. The way heat feels after genuine cold, not the fake cold of air conditioning, but the deep cold that threatens life itself. They appreciated warmth, the way you can never appreciate it because you've never been truly cold. Never been cold in the way that makes warmth feel like salvation, like grace, like everything worth living for, concentrated in flickering flames. Your own temperature is perfect right now.
Notice it, feel it, appreciate it.
You've adjusted your blankets unconsciously to maintain ideal comfort. Your body is brilliant at this, at temperature regulation in controlled environments. That's its adaptation to modern life. That's its version of their cold resistance. Different, equally valid, equally impressive in context. You're perfectly suited to your world the same way they were perfectly suited to theirs. Brown fat activation in modern humans requires deliberate cold exposure, carefully managed, specifically targeted.
In them it was baseline, always on.
Always generating heat from stored calories, burning through energy to stay alive. One study estimated they burned an extra 800 calories per day just from thermogenesis. That's like running a 10K every single day, except they were sitting still.
Except it was just their bodies fighting cold.
Just survival tax in a frozen world, but the cold also protected them. Preserved food, killed bacteria.
Kept predators sluggish.
The same environment that demanded so much from their bodies also gave them advantages. Nothing is purely good or purely bad.
Everything trades.
They got cold resistance but needed massive caloric intake. You get climate control but lose those adaptations. Both sides of every equation always balance, always. That's how nature works. That's what we forget when we romanticize the past. Let yourself sink deeper into your perfectly controlled environment. Let your body completely relax, knowing it doesn't need to fight cold, doesn't need to generate extra heat, doesn't need to stay alert to temperature threats.
Can just shut down, rest, recover. That's the gift of modern life.
Not being able to survive extreme cold, being able to avoid it entirely, to rest without vigilance, to sleep without survival mode. They slept together not just for emotional comfort, but for thermal efficiency. Bodies pressed together, sharing heat, reducing individual metabolic burden through collective warmth. A family of 5 sleeping together could reduce each person's heat generation requirement by 20%. That's the difference between starvation and survival when food is scarce, between death and another day when winter extends too long. They had no choice, but their necessity created intimacy we've mostly lost. Modern humans sleep alone in separate rooms with individual climate control. We've gained privacy and autonomy, lost physical intimacy and thermal efficiency.
Again, everything trades.
Neither is superior, neither is failure. Just different adaptations to different conditions, optimizing for different values, creating different human experiences. Both valid, both human, both exactly right for their time and place. Feel your own warmth surrounding you. Your modern solution to ancient problem. Technology instead of physiology, intelligence instead of adaptation, planning instead of endurance. You solve the cold problem without needing to develop superhuman cold resistance. That's smart. That's efficient.
That's what brains are for.
They used bodies. You use tools. Both work. Both are success stories. Both are human ingenuity in different forms. The cold that made them superhuman also killed them regularly. Hypothermia, frostbite, infections from cold-related injuries. Their adaptation was impressive but never perfect.
Never complete.
Never enough to eliminate risk entirely. They died from cold despite cold adaptations. Because nature always wins eventually. Because perfect adaptation doesn't exist. Because survival is always temporary and death always comes. You won't die from cold tonight. Won't even be uncomfortable. Won't even think about temperature unless this story makes you notice how perfect it already is.
That's victory.
That's the whole point of civilization. That's what all those generations of suffering bought, this moment. Your comfort.
Your safety.
Your ability to rest without fighting.
Take it, accept it. Let it be enough. 'Cause it is.
It absolutely is. The ancient cold shaped their bodies in ways that seem magical now. But they weren't magic.
Weren't superhuman.
Just humans in extreme conditions developing extreme adaptations through extreme pressure over extreme time. You're in moderate conditions developing moderate adaptations through moderate pressure over moderate time.
Neither is better. Neither is worse.
Both are exactly what they should be given their context. As they found warmth and peace in harsh worlds, you find perfect rest in your controlled world. As their bodies fought cold every moment, yours rests in ideal temperature every moment. As they burned calories just surviving, you conserve energy for thriving. Different strategies, different costs,
Different benefits. All human.
all valid, all beautiful in their own way, all worthy of respect and appreciation and acceptance. Let the cold they endured make your warmth sweeter. Let their suffering make your comfort meaningful. Let their struggle give your ease purpose.
They didn't suffer so you could feel guilty.
They suffered so you could be free from suffering, so you could rest, so you could sleep without fighting.
So you could just be. That's honoring them. That's gratitude. That's understanding what their lives mean for yours.
As your body repairs itself tonight, ancient knowledge integrates. You don't need to consciously remember every detail. Your unconscious mind is processing everything, taking what's useful, discarding what's not, building new understanding beneath conscious awareness. That's how deep learning works, how real change happens, how stories transform us without us trying. Just relax.
Just listen.
Just let this work. Every single step they took was different from yours.
Radically different.
You walk on flat sidewalks, smooth floors, paved streets. Your foot lands and pushes off in the same motion every time. Predictable, stable, easy. Your brain doesn't need to think about it. Your stabilizer muscles don't need to engage. Your body just walks efficiently, safely, simply. That's modern advantage. That's infrastructure working invisibly to make your life easier. They walked on chaos. Ice, rock, mud, snow, uneven ground constantly. Every footfall different. Every step requiring micro-adjustments in ankle, knee, hip. Every moment engaging hundreds of tiny stabilizer muscles that modern humans don't even know they have. Your body has those muscles too.
They're just quiet, dormant, waiting for challenges that never come.
Perfectly adapted to flat modern world. Feel how still you can be now, how different from their constant motion. You can lie completely motionless for hours if you want. They couldn't. Even sleeping, their bodies were engaged, fighting cold, adjusting to hard surfaces, maintaining position on slopes. Waking life was constant motion. Sleeping life was constant adjustment. Their bodies never truly rested the way yours is resting right now. Never had this complete peace, this absolute stillness, this total surrender to safety, climbing daily cliffs for views, for surveillance, for gathering, for eggs from bird nests high above. Not recreational climbing with ropes and harnesses and spotters, just scrambling up rock faces because that's where food was.
That's where safety was. That's where you needed to be.
Full body engagement every time. Every muscle fiber activating, every stabilizer working, every movement building strength without trying, building capacity without planning. Your modern elevator ride requires zero physical output. Push button. Stand still. Arrive. That's intelligence triumphing over terrain. That's humans refusing to do hard things when easier ways exist.
Not laziness, efficiency.
Not weakness, progress. You could take the stairs, but the elevator exists precisely so you don't have to. Using it is honoring human ingenuity, not betraying human potential. Every load they carried was unbalanced, awkward, shifting, dead deer on shoulders.
Firewood in arms. Children squirming on backs.
Nothing had handles or straps or wheels. Everything required constant adjustment, constant engagement, constant full-body recruitment. Your modern luggage rolls.
Has wheels. Has handles.
Makes carrying effortless.
Again, not weakness. Intelligence. Using tools instead of just endurance.
That's what humans do better than any other species. Notice how supported you are right now. How everything is holding you instead of you holding everything. Mattress supporting your weight. Pillow supporting your head. Gravity pulling you down into perfect rest instead of forcing you to fight it. Modern furniture is recent invention. For most of human history, sitting meant squatting. Sleeping meant ground. Existing meant constant engagement with gravity's demands. They crossed rivers carrying supplies overhead, waded through water that would hypothermia kill you in 10 minutes, maintained perfect balance on slippery river stones while current pushed against them while they held valuable tools above the surface. Core strength activated constantly. Balance systems engaged perpetually. No gym exercise replicates this kind of total body functional demand because gym is controlled, predictable, safe.
Life was not. Your modern bridge eliminates the river crossing.
Your modern boat makes it trivial. Your modern infrastructure removes obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, each one taking physical demand away, each one making life easier, each one making bodies. What? Weaker?
No, more efficient.
More specialized. More free to develop capacities beyond pure survival.
That's upgrade, not downgrade.
That's evolution working exactly as it should. Boulder fields required constant three-point contact, feet and hands always engaged, moving through terrain that was climbing and hiking simultaneously. What would take you an hour took them 10 minutes, because their bodies knew how to move through difficult terrain. But it cost them. Cost energy. Cost focus. Cost constant injury risk. Your smooth path costs nothing. Requires nothing. Gives you energy for other things. As they moved through impossible terrain, you moved through peaceful dreams. As they navigated physical challenges, you navigate psychological ones. As they developed stabilizer muscles, you develop cognitive flexibility. Different environments demanding different adaptations, both producing capable humans, both succeeding at their core mission, survive and thrive in given conditions. Their commute to hunting grounds was your CrossFit nightmare done casually while chatting. Traversing 5 miles of rough terrain, carrying tools, climbing elevation changes, crossing obstacles, just getting to the hunting ground before the hunt even started. Then hunting, then carrying meat back over same terrain, 10 to 15 miles daily, every day, forever. Until injury or age finally stopped them. You can drive 10 miles in 10 minutes, walk it in 2 hours on smooth pavement, avoid it entirely with delivery services.
That's not failing at being Neanderthal. That's succeeding at being modern human.
That's using intelligence to solve problems that used to require brute force physical capacity. That's the whole evolutionary strategy that made modern humans dominant. Brain over brawn, tools over toughness, planning over power, every handhold they gripped. Every branch they pulled themselves up on, every rock they climbed over, every surface they pushed against. All of it was unintentional strength training. All of it was building capacity without program, without plan, without awareness. Just living in hard world, creating hard bodies automatically, necessarily, unconsciously, perfectly for that world. Completely wrong for yours. Feel yourself completely supported right now.
Not needing to grip anything.
Not needing to balance anything.
Not needing to adjust anything.
Just lying there in perfect stillness while Earth's gravity gently holds you exactly where you are. This is the gift of flat, smooth, stable modern world.
Not having to fight constantly. Not having to engage perpetually.
Being able to just rest. Completely. Totally, finally. The terrain that built their bodies also destroyed them. Broken bones from falls.
Shattered joints from constant impact.
Spinal compression from carrying loads over rough ground. Arthritis in every joint by age 30. Their training ground was also their torture chamber. Impressive adaptations purchased with constant suffering. You skip the adaptations and the suffering both. Win-win, perfect trade. Exactly right choice. Your body doesn't need stabilizer muscles developed for boulder fields you'll never cross. Doesn't need grip strength for cliffs you'll never climb. Doesn't need balance systems for terrain you'll never traverse. It needs different capacities.
Ones you're developing without realizing.
One's perfect for your life. ones they would never have developed because their world never required them. As you drift deeper, as your body continues its repair work, as ancient knowledge integrates at levels beneath thought, recognize that movement is context-dependent. Their movement was perfect for Ice Age Europe. Yours is perfect for modern infrastructure. Both valid, both sufficient, both exactly right. No comparison possible because the contexts are completely different worlds requiring completely different solutions. Let the understanding of their constant motion make your stillness sweeter. Let their endless engagement with gravity make your rest deeper. Let their perpetual struggle make your peace more meaningful. They moved so you could rest. They fought so you could surrender. They engaged so you could release.
That's not abandoning their legacy. That's fulfilling it.
That's the whole point of everything they endured. As you learn about their sleep, you improve your own.
That's how this works.
Understanding creates change beneath awareness. Your sleep tonight will be deeper because of this knowledge, more restorative because of this story, more complete because something in you recognizes ancient truth and responds to it automatically. You don't need to try. Just let it happen. Just drift. Just trust. Winter darkness in Ice Age Europe meant 12, 14, sometimes 16 hours of night. No artificial light.
No screens.
No way to extend day beyond what sun provided. When darkness came, activity stopped. Not because they chose rest, but because darkness made activity impossible, dangerous, pointless, so they slept. 10, 12, sometimes 14 hours. Their bodies aligned perfectly with seasonal light cycles because they had no alternative. Your modern world gives you artificial day anytime you want it. Electric lights, screens, 24-hour activity. The ability to ignore circadian rhythms entirely.
That's freedom. That's human triumph over natural limitation.
But it comes with cost. Sleep disruption, circadian misalignment, bodies confused about when to rest because light signals say it's always daytime. Progress always trades, always. Neither world is perfect. Feel yourself sinking into the kind of sleep they had every night. Not the fragmented, anxious, interrupted sleep of modern life. The deep, complete, surrendered sleep of bodies that worked hard, that have no choice but to rest, that trust darkness completely, that sleep is still available to you, still in your genetic programming, still possible when conditions align.
Like tonight. Like right now.
Like this moment of perfect story-induced relaxation. No artificial light disrupting melatonin production. Melatonin is your sleep hormone. It rises when darkness comes, telling your body it's time to rest. Modern artificial light, especially blue light from screens, suppresses melatonin. Tells your body it's still day. Creates misalignment between environment and biology. I never had that problem. Darkness was absolute. Melatonin rose naturally. Sleep came easily, every night, for hundreds of thousands of years. Deep sleep waves lasting hours. Modern humans get maybe 90 minutes of deep sleep per night if they're lucky. The rest is light sleep, REM sleep, or pseudo-sleep that doesn't fully restore. Their deep sleep could last 3, 4, sometimes 5 hours. Growth hormone flooding their systems. Muscle repair accelerating. Memory consolidation completing.
Full restoration happening because nothing interrupted it. Nothing could interrupt it.
Darkness and safety meant complete surrender to sleep's demands. Your own sleep cycles are trying to normalize right now. Trying to remember what natural sleep feels like. This story is helping. The hypnotic rhythm of words matching ancient sleep patterns. The permission to rest completely. The understanding that sleep isn't weakness but biological necessity. That restoration isn't optional but required. That your body knows what it needs and is trying to give it to you right now. They woke naturally with sun. No alarms, no jarring interruptions. Just gradual lightening of sky slowly bringing consciousness back online. Cortisol rising naturally with dawn, giving them energy for new day. Perfect hormonal rhythm that modern humans almost never experience. Wake up is violent for you, artificial, forced. Your body resents it even if you don't consciously notice. Their wake-ups were gentle, natural, right? But they also woke to cold, to hunger, to danger, to another day of grinding survival. You wake to warmth, to safety, to abundance, to day of modern challenges that don't threaten life itself.
Again, everything trades.
Their sleep was better. Their waking reality was worse. You have opposite problem. Fragmented sleep but easier days.
Neither is winning. Neither is losing. Both are just
Being human in different contexts. Sleep was their primary recovery tool.
only recovery tool, really.
No ice baths or massage or physical therapy or supplements. Just sleep.
Long, deep, uninterrupted sleep. And it was enough. More than enough.
Their bodies healed faster than modern bodies, despite facing far greater damage because their sleep quality was so superior. Sleep is where healing happens, where growth happens, where restoration happens. They had abundant sleep. That abundance fueled everything. Feel yourself accessing that abundance now.
Not trying to sleep. Trying prevents sleep, just allowing it.
Allowing the natural progression from waking to drowsing to sleeping that would happen automatically if you stopped interfering. This story is helping you stop interfering, helping you remember that sleep isn't something you do, something you allow, something you surrender to, something that happens when you finally, completely let go. No sleep anxiety in Neanderthal life. They didn't worry about getting enough sleep,
Didn't track it.
didn't optimize it, didn't read articles about it. Just did it every night. When darkness came, until light returned. Simple, clean, automatic. Your modern sleep anxiety creates the sleep problems you're anxious about. Vicious cycle they never entered because they never questioned sleep in first place. Their sleep built their strength as much as their activity did.
Maybe more.
Growth hormone released during deep sleep. Muscle protein synthesis accelerating during rest. Bone density increasing during sleep pressure.
They didn't know the mechanisms.
Didn't need to. Just slept long and deep and woke up stronger.
That's still how it works.
Still how your body wants to work. Still possible when you create conditions for it. Let this video become your bridge to their sleep quality. Let these words become your sleep ritual, your bedtime story, your transition from modern chaos to ancient peace. Let coming back here nightly become part of your sleep routine. Not because you need this specific video, but because your body needs ritual, needs predictability, needs permission to rest. This provides all three. This becomes your cave. Your darkness, your safety signal that sleep can come now. They had no alarm clocks to dread, no appointments to wake for, no artificial schedules forcing them awake before restoration completed. They slept until sleep was done.
Until their body had taken what it needed.
Until natural wake signals brought them back. You can't live that way. Modern life has demands, but understanding what you're missing helps you maximize the sleep you can get, helps you protect it, honor it, value it more than modern culture teaches you to value it. Sleep debt destroyed them faster than it destroys you. They couldn't function on 6 hours, couldn't push through exhaustion with caffeine, couldn't borrow against tomorrow's rest. If they didn't sleep deeply, they died.
Predators killed them.
Hypothermia took them. Hunting accidents happened. Sleep was non-negotiable survival requirement. For you, it feels optional. Feels like something you can sacrifice. But your body disagrees. Your body knows sleep is still non-negotiable, still required, still the foundation of everything else. Feel the weight of your body increasing.
That's not tiredness, that's surrender.
That's your nervous system finally believing it's safe to let go. That's ancient sleep mechanisms activating. That's your body recognizing the conditions for deep rest and beginning the shutdown sequence that leads there. Don't fight it. Don't analyze it. Just notice it. Just appreciate it. Just let it continue. Sleeping in communal spaces meant safety. Someone always half awake. Someone always listening for danger. Rotating watch without conscious plan. Their nervous systems coordinated. Shared responsibility for survival. Allowed deeper individual rest because collective vigilance covered them. You sleep alone but in secured buildings with locks and walls and civilization protecting you. Different safety strategy. both effective, both allowing the rest necessary for tomorrow. Their sleep ritual was simple. Darkness falls, fire dies to embers,
Family huddles together. Stories stop.
breathing slows.
Sleep comes.
No wind-down routine needed because entire life was physical. Entire day was exhausting. Sleep wasn't something to prepare for. It was inevitable, unavoidable, welcome. You need more preparation because your day wasn't physically exhausting, was mentally stimulating, was artificially lit. Your nervous system needs help transitioning, needs ritual, needs this. As you continue relaxing, as your consciousness continues lowering towards sleep, as this story continues doing what bedtime stories have always done, recognize that you're engaging in human ritual older than language,
Older than art. Older than everything we think makes us human.
Before humans were fully human, we told stories at bedtime, shared experiences, connected across the divide of individual consciousness, prepared together for the vulnerable state of sleep. This is that. This video,
This moment.
this ancient human ritual adapted for modern technology but fundamentally unchanged in purpose, helping you feel safe enough to sleep, connected enough to rest.
Understood enough to surrender.
Your ancestors did this around fires. You do it through screens, different technology. Same need, same solution, same result. Sleep coming easier because you're not alone in darkness. They had no concept of sleep hygiene, sleep optimization, sleep hacking. Just had sleep. Natural, necessary, non-optional sleep.
Maybe that's the secret.
Maybe trying to optimize sleep is what ruins it. Maybe their accidental perfection came from never thinking about it. From just trusting biology to work without interference. Tonight you're practicing that trust, that surrender, that ancient wisdom that sleep will come if you simply allow it. The sleep that built their strength is still available, still in your DNA, still waiting for conditions that allow it. You're creating those conditions right now. Darkness or dimness, stillness, safety signals, story creating relaxation, body position optimized for rest, temperature controlled for comfort, all the pieces aligning, all the conditions meeting, all the ancient requirements satisfied in modern ways. Sleep is coming, the kind that built them, the kind that will restore you. Let their perfect sleep become yours. Let their surrender to darkness teach you surrender to rest. Let their trust in night's protection translate to trust in your own safety. Let everything they knew unconsciously become something you know consciously, and then let go of knowing consciously so it can work unconsciously the way it's meant to work. Sleep isn't conscious process. It's unconscious gift.
Stop thinking. Start sleeping.
Let go, let go,
Let go.
They would be so puzzled by our world, but would understand you completely. Would recognize the human trying to be strong, trying to be capable, trying to be enough. They'd just be confused by the methods, by the separation of strength from purpose, by the artificiality of it all. But they'd understand the intention,
The desire.
the need to feel powerful in body.
That's universal. That's timeless.
That's deeply, eternally human. Picture a Neanderthal somehow transported to modern gym. The lights would confuse them first. Artificial brightness when body expects rest.
Then the mirrors.
Why watch yourself? They never saw their own faces clearly.
Never knew what they looked like. Never had self-image to maintain or improve.
Just had body that worked. That was enough. That was everything. The treadmill would baffle them completely.
Running in place.
Going nowhere. Expending energy without purpose. Without prey to chase. Without danger to flee. Just running for its own sake. They'd watch modern humans huffing and sweating and going absolutely nowhere and think, what are they running from? What are they running toward?
Why aren't they getting there?
Feel yourself relaxing even deeper, maybe even smiling at the image. The gentle absurdity of modern fitness seen through ancient eyes.
Not judgment, just perspective.
Just recognizing how strange our solutions are to problems they solve differently. How complicated we make things that used to be simple. How much effort we put into recreating challenges that used to just exist. Weight machines isolating individual muscles would confuse them most. Bicep curls
Leg extensions, movements that happen nowhere in nature.
that serve no functional purpose, that build strength useless for anything except lifting that specific weight in that specific way. They never isolated muscles, never targeted specific areas. Whole body moved together or didn't move at all. Integration was automatic, necessary, the only way movement worked in their world. Your modern gym exists because modern world removed all the natural strength-building activities, removed carrying, climbing, fighting, surviving. So gym recreates them artificially, safely, predictably, controllably. It's not stupid, it's adaptation. It's humans recognizing what we lost and trying to get it back without returning to the dangers that created it. Smart solution to modern problem. Just strange from ancient perspective. They would understand the desire, though. Would recognize humans trying to be strong. Would respect the effort, even while confused by the methods. Would see you struggling with weights and think, they want what we had.
They're trying.
They're working hard. Good. That's good.
That's human.
That's the drive to improve, to grow, to become more capable.
Ancient drive, modern expression.
Both valid protein powder would make no sense. Creatine supplements, pre-workout formulas, trying to biochemically force adaptations that used to come from simply living. They ate food,
Move their bodies.
got strong automatically,
You eat food.
sit mostly still. Need supplements to trigger what should be automatic. Not your fault, not weakness.
Not failure.
Just reality of bodies designed for one world trying to thrive in another. As you continue drifting, as your mind wanders where it wants to go, notice how this perspective shifts things. The gym isn't temple of inadequacy. It's attempted solution to modern problem.
Not perfect solution.
But humans trying,
Always adapting.
always finding ways to meet needs, even when environment changes completely. That's success. That's intelligence. That's exactly what evolution rewards. Group fitness classes would particularly confuse them. Doing hard things together but not accomplishing anything. Not hunting,
Not building.
not surviving, just exercising. For community, for motivation, for shared suffering that doesn't produce survival benefit.
They'd scratch their massive heads.
But then they'd recognize something familiar. Humans working together.
Supporting each other. Pushing each other.
That's ancient.
That's tribal.
That's the way humans have always found strength, together. Your approach to fitness, whatever it is your solution to strength needs in modern context. Going to gym, not going to gym.
Playing sports, walking, doing nothing.
All valid choices given your environment, your goals, your life. They didn't have choices.
You do. Choice is luxury.
Is freedom. Is proof that survival became easy enough that strength became optional. That's winning. The Neanderthal, after initial confusion, might try a bench press. Would load it with what seems reasonable to them, 500 pounds. Would press it casually, conversationally, without warm-up or strain. Would look around expecting praise or acknowledgement. Would see modern humans staring in shock. Would be confused again. Why are they amazed?
This is normal way.
This is what hands do.
This is just Tuesday. They couldn't understand that their normal is our impossible.
That their baseline is our extraordinary. That what they did unconsciously we can't do at all.
Not without years of dedicated training, and often not even then.
The gap is too large. The adaptation too complete. The different kind of human. Related but diverged.
Same family.
Different species. Both valid, both beautiful. Both exactly what they should be. Feel how completely you've let go of needing to be like them. How fully you've accepted your own body, your own strength, your own capabilities. The gym is there if you want it. Your body is fine if you don't. Strength takes many forms. Theirs was one.
Yours is another.
Both work, both succeed. Both get humans through their days, through their lives, through their challenges. Different strengths. Same underlying humanity. As they never thought about their strength, stop thinking about yours. As they never compared, stop comparing. As they never judged themselves inadequate, Stop judging yourself that way. Their strength came from not thinking about it.
From just living, from just being.
You can access that same peace not through matching their strength, but through matching their acceptance. Through just being what you are without constant evaluation. The modern gym is recent invention solving recent problem. For 300,000 years, humans didn't need gyms. Then we built worlds so safe, so comfortable, so easy that bodies started atrophying. So we built gyms, created artificial challenge, recreated ancient demands in controlled environments.
It's deeply weird and also perfectly reasonable.
Humans adapting again,
Always adapting.
never static, always finding solutions. Let this understanding settle into your bones. Let it change how you think about strength without thinking about it. Let it work beneath conscious awareness while conscious awareness fades towards sleep. The Neanderthal wouldn't judge you for your gym or your lack of gym, would just recognize fellow human trying to thrive in their world, would nod approval, would offer respect, would say without words, "You're doing fine, keep going, you're exactly what you should be." They sleep tonight in ancient caves, never knowing gyms will exist,
Never imagining strength will become recreational.
never conceiving of world where physical power is optional. You sleep tonight in modern comfort, never needing their strength, never facing their dangers,
Never suffering their losses.
both sleeping, both human, both exactly right for their moment.
Let that be enough.
Let that be everything.
Let that carry you deeper into rest that transcends time, that connects you across millennia, that makes you both just human. Just alive.
Just enough.
Strength wasn't about gender for them.
It was about humanity surviving together. Everyone had to be strong. Everyone had to be capable.
Everyone had to contribute.
Gender roles existed, but within narrower range. The gap between male and female strength was smaller than the gap between any of them and any of you. That perspective changes everything.
Unifies everything.
Makes clear that we've all lost something together. We're all connected in this loss. We're all equally distant from what humans once were. A Neanderthal woman in her 3rd trimester of pregnancy brings down a reindeer, alone, tracks it for hours, waits for perfect moment, throws spear with enough force to pierce vital organs, approaches carefully,
Finishes the kill.
begins field dressing. Her partner arrives,
Helps carry.
but she did the dangerous part, the skilled part, the powerful part, while growing another human inside her body, while supporting extra weight, while flooded with pregnancy hormones. Still stronger than men, you know. Still more capable than modern athletes. Still operating at level we call superhuman because it's beyond anything we can imagine achieving. Feel your own body, whatever your gender, connecting to this universal ancient power. It wasn't male power, wasn't female power, was human power, was survival power, was the baseline everyone needed to exist in world that demanded everything. You don't need that baseline anymore.
None of you do.
Gender doesn't matter when discussing modern weakness compared to ancient strength. You're all equally removed from their reality. Neanderthal mothers carrying toddlers plus supplies for miles, 60, 70 pounds of child and gear, for hours, through rough terrain, while pregnant again, while still nursing, while also gathering food along the way. Modern mothers struggle with stroller and diaper bag,
Not because modern mothers are weak.
because modern mothers don't need to be strong in that way, because intelligence created tools that replace strength, because adaptation means doing less with bodies and more with technology. Women's grip strength in Neanderthal populations exceeded modern male athletes. Let that sink in as you sink deeper.
Ancient women routinely, casually, without trying.
Stronger than modern men who train specifically for grip strength their entire lives. The gap wasn't male-female. The gap was ancient-modern, was adapted to harshness versus adapted to comfort, was one kind of human versus another kind of human. Gender almost irrelevant in that context. Your modern world has different gender gaps in strength,
Real gaps, measurable gaps.
but those gaps are tiny compared to the gap between any modern human and any Neanderthal human. This isn't about erasing gender differences. It's about perspective, about recognizing that modern gender gaps are differences within modern weakness, not differences between strong and weak. All modern humans are weak compared to all ancient humans. Gender is secondary variable. Era is primary variable. Neanderthal girls developing power that would intimidate modern men, teenage girls, lifting stones that would require multiple modern adults, carrying loads that would hospitalize modern men, fighting when necessary with ferocity and capability that would terrify anyone,
Not trying to be tough.
not trying to be masculine, just being human in a world that required capability regardless of what was between your legs. Feel any gender-based inadequacy dissolving. Feel any gender-based superiority dissolving too. None of it matters when looking back this far. None of it changes the fundamental reality. Humans used to be much stronger, and now humans are much weaker, and gender is barely relevant to that transformation. We all lost it together. We all adapted together. We're all in this modern world together, equally removed from ancient power, equally adapted to modern ease. Childbearing didn't weaken them the way it affects modern women. Their bone density, muscle mass, hormonal balance, all optimized through thousands of generations. Pregnancy was challenging but not debilitating. They kept moving, kept working, kept contributing right up until labor. Recovered faster. Returned to full activity within days. Not because they were tough, because their bodies were built for it in ways modern bodies aren't. Different genetics.
Different expression.
Different capabilities. Modern pregnancy is harder on weaker baseline. Modern mothers need more support because modern bodies aren't adapted to do everything alone. That's not weakness, that's specialization. That's living in society where everyone doesn't need to be capable of everything, where help is available, where community exists differently, where survival doesn't depend on individual capability, but on collective intelligence and cooperation. Regardless of your gender, feel yourself resting in the perfection of what you are.
Not what they were. Not what you think you should be.
What you actually are.
Right now.
In your world, with your challenges, with your capabilities, perfectly matched to your environment, perfectly adapted to your moment, exactly right in ways that have nothing to do with whether you could hunt reindeer pregnant or carry 60 pounds for hours. Ancient families slept together with women as protectors too.
Mothers would fight predators.
Would defend children with same ferocity and capability as fathers. Would kill to protect. Would die to save.
Strength was shared responsibility.
Survival was collaborative effort. Gender meant something different when physical capability was less divergent. When everyone had to be strong for anyone to survive. You live in a world where protection looks different, where physical strength isn't primary defense, where intelligence, technology, social structures, legal systems, all these replace the need for individuals to be physically formidable.
That's progress.
That's the point. That's what all those generations of suffering bought. World where women don't need to fight off predators, where men don't need to kill to eat, where everyone can be softer, because hard isn't necessary anymore. Let that truth wash over you like warm water.
Like ancient comfort.
Like permission to be exactly what you are without comparison to what humans used to need to be. The Neanderthal woman who could outlift modern men wouldn't want you to feel inadequate. Would want you to appreciate that you live in a world where her strength isn't necessary. Would be grateful that her distant descendants finally made it.
Finally won.
Finally got to rest. As ancient families slept together in shared strength, rest in shared understanding. All modern humans are connected in our collective distance from ancient power. All of us adapted together. All of us won together. All of us get to rest now together in the world that ancient strength built, but modern intelligence perfected. Gender doesn't divide us in this, era does. And this era, your era, is exactly where you're supposed to be. The women stronger than you'll ever be are dust now. Their incredible strength vanished from Earth. Your different strengths, emotional intelligence, cognitive flexibility, communication skills, creative capacity, those are ascendant. Those are what evolution selected for. Those are what made modern humans dominant.
Not worse than ancient strength.
Just different. Just adapted to different needs. Just exactly right for world as it is, not as it was. Sleep in that truth. Rest in that knowledge. Let gender-based comparison fade along with ancient modern comparison. Let all comparison drain away.
Let yourself just be human. Modern human. Perfectly adapted human. Exactly right human.
Neither strong nor weak in absolute terms. Just right for relative context. Just capable for actual needs. Just enough. Always enough. Forever enough.
No shame in being weaker than ancient children.
Just marvel at what humans were. Just wonder at what adaptation can create. Just recognize that their children lived in different universe than yours, developing differently, becoming differently, succeeding differently, a completely different game of survival. You're not failing at being Neanderthal, child. You're succeeding at being modern adult. Different measures, different contexts, different worlds, all valid. A 3-year-old Neanderthal climbing trees that would challenge modern adult rock climbers. Not exceptional 3-year-old, average, normal, just Tuesday for toddler in Ice Age Europe. Gripping branches with hands that could already crush things you can't crush now. Pulling body weight up surfaces that would require modern climbing gear.
All while laughing, playing, being child.
Unconsciously building power that would make grown adults weep with envy 50,000 years later. Your modern 3-year-olds are brilliant differently. Speak complex sentences earlier. Navigate social complexity better. Process abstract concepts faster. Use technology intuitively.
Modern children's cognitive development outpaces ancient children's by massive margin.
But physically, ancient children were operating at levels modern children won't approach even in adulthood. Different priorities, different adaptations, different environments creating different humans. Feel yourself letting go of any comparison to ancient children. That's vanished world. Those are extinct capabilities.
You're not supposed to match them. You're supposed to be you. Modern you.
Cognitive you. Complex you. Weak-bodied but strong-minded you. That's the trade evolution made. That's the deal that produced modern humans. That's why you exist and they don't. 7-year-old Neanderthal children on hunts. Not watching, participating, running for miles. Helping with strategy.
Learning to track, to kill, to survive.
Building endurance that would exhaust modern marathon runners. Building strength that would impress modern athletes. All just through living. Through being child in world that required capability early or death came early.
Harsh teacher. Effective results.
Not enviable situation despite impressive outcomes. Modern 7-year-olds sit in classrooms learning to read, write, calculate, socialize. Building neural pathways ancient children never developed. Creating cognitive capacity that will let them navigate complexity ancient children couldn't imagine. Both childhoods producing capable adults. Just capable in completely different ways for completely different worlds. Neither superior. Both necessary. Both exactly right. 10-year-old Neanderthal making first solo kill.
Stalking animal alone.
Throwing spear with enough force to drop it. Approaching carefully. Finishing it properly. Carrying it home. All before puberty.
All just expected.
All just normal childhood milestone like modern children learning to ride bikes or tie shoes. Different skills. Different measure of maturity. Different world demanding different demonstrations of capability. Remember your own childhood. Moments of natural movement and strength. Climbing trees, maybe.
Running without purpose.
Fighting playfully. Your body remembers those moments.
Cherishes them.
They're not nothing.
Their connection to ancient patterns.
They're echo of what childhood used to be. They're proof that ancient programming still exists in you, just dormant, just waiting for challenges that probably won't come.
And that's okay. That's perfect.
That's exactly how it should be. Puberty transformed ancient children into beings of terrifying power. Hormones flooding systems already adapted for strength. Growth spurts adding muscle and bone density simultaneously. 15-year-olds looking like modern bodybuilders except bigger, denser, more powerful.
Not training.
Not supplementing.
Not trying.
Just biology. doing what biology does in environment that demands physical excellence, automatic, unconscious, inevitable given the circumstances. Modern puberty creates different changes: cognitive maturation, emotional complexity, social navigation skills, sexual awareness,
Abstract thinking, future planning.
all things ancient teens struggled with. All things modern teens develop earlier and more completely. Different strengths emerging, different human capabilities coming online, both puberty-producing adults. Just radically different kinds of adults for radically different worlds. As ancient children grew into power through play, drift into peaceful dreams of simpler times. Not simpler in suffering, their childhood was brutal. Simpler in measure, in purpose, in clarity. Their childhood had one goal: survive to adulthood. Modern childhood has 1,000 goals: social success, academic achievement, emotional regulation, moral development, creative expression, athletic participation, technological literacy.
Harder in different way.
Easier in different way, just different. Ancient children watched other children die regularly: injuries, illnesses, accidents, predators. Their childhood included trauma modern children mostly avoid. Their strength came with costs you don't pay. Their power was purchased with experiences you're grateful to have avoided.
Envying their strength means envying package deal that includes their suffering.
Would you make that trade? Really? Would you want modern children to make it? Feel gratitude for modern childhood despite modern weakness. Feel appreciation for safety that allows softness. Feel recognition that protecting children from needing ancient strength is victory, not failure, is progress, not decline, is exactly what all those ancient parents were working toward, even without knowing it. They wanted their children to survive. You live in a world where children's survival is nearly guaranteed. That's ultimate parenting success, spanning millennia. They never train children. That's what modern fitness culture gets backwards. Looking at ancient children's strength and thinking, we should train children harder. No, ancient children got strong from environment, not from training. From necessity, not from programming. Modern environment doesn't create that necessity. Training can't replace it because training is isolated, specific, artificial. Living is comprehensive, constant, natural. Can't recreate one by faking the other. Your inner child remembers ancient play, remembers moving for joy, remembers strength as natural byproduct of being alive, remembers before strength became goal or measure or source of shame, before fitness became industry, before bodies became projects, when bodies were just bodies. That memory is still there, still accessible. This story is helping you remember, helping you reconnect, helping you find peace in what you were before judgment complicated everything. Ancient children, sleeping peacefully after hard days, bodies exhausted in ways modern children rarely experience, recovery happening automatically, growth occurring during deep sleep, waking restored, ready, capable, no anxiety about performance, no worry about adequacy, just waking and doing whatever needed doing, simple, clean, perfect for them, irrelevant to you, beautiful to remember but unnecessary to recreate. Modern children sleeping after complex days, brains exhausted in ways ancient children rarely experienced, processing social interactions, academic information, emotional experiences, digital inputs, different kind of tired, different kind of recovery, different kind of growth happening in different sleep, both valid, both necessary, both producing humans capable of thriving in their respective worlds. Let the children stronger than you'll ever be stay in their time. Let your own childhood, whatever it was, be perfect for what it needed to prepare you for. Let modern children be modern children without guilt about their weakness. Strength takes forms, physical and otherwise. They had one.
You have others.
Your children will have different ones still. Evolution continuing. Adaptation ongoing. Humans becoming what needs becoming for world. As it continues changing, as they grew strong unconsciously, grow peaceful unconsciously. As their power developed automatically, let acceptance develop automatically. As their bodies built themselves through living, let your peace build itself through understanding. No trying, no forcing, No achieving, just allowing, just being, just resting in truth that every human who ever lived was perfect for their moment, including them, including you, including children of every era doing exactly what they needed to do to become exactly what they needed to become. Humans need tribe to be whole, to be strong, to sleep peacefully. This truth transcends time, crosses all eras, connects you to them across 50,000 years. You need what they needed, just expressed differently, just accessed differently. But fundamentally, eternally, deeply the same. Connection, belonging, mattering to people who matter to you.
Ancient need, modern manifestation.
Forever requirement for human well-being, never alone. That was their reality. From birth to death, surrounded by same tight family unit. 15 to 30 people who knew you completely, who depended on you completely, who you depended on completely.
No privacy.
No solitude.
No independence.
Also no loneliness.
No isolation.
No feeling invisible or forgotten or insignificant.
Always seen, always known.
Always held in web of connection that never broke until death broke it. Feel yourself part of their circle, accepted completely.
Valued, essentially.
Important automatically just by existing. Your modern loneliness recognized by ancient family who would never understand how you could feel alone, would never comprehend isolation in world with billions of people, would offer what they always offered, place by the fire.
Shoulder to lean on, hand to hold.
Presence that says without words, you belong here. You matter. Your family, emotional security, allowing physical risk-taking. This is key insight. They could face charging cave bears without panic because tribe had their back. Could hunt dangerous animals because family would care for them if injured. Could take survival risks because social safety net caught them if they fell. Not government safety net. Not institutional support. Tribe, family, people who loved them because they were family, not because they deserved it or earned it. Modern isolation destroys physical capability. Loneliness is stressor as damaging as starvation. Cortisol flooding from social disconnection, preventing muscle growth, disrupting sleep, accelerating aging, causing inflammation, destroying health. You can eat perfectly, exercise optimally, sleep ideally. If you're lonely, you're still compromised.
Still struggling.
Still operating at fraction of potential. Ancient humans never faced this particular stressor because tribe was non-optional. Was just reality, was air they breathed, your own stress hormones dropping as you feel ancient connection through story.
As you recognize you're part of their family.
Separated by time but not by blood, connected by DNA that flows unbroken from them to you across 50,000 years.
Same basic human.
Same needs, same longings, same requirement for belonging. They would claim you, would accept you, would make room by their fire without question or judgment.
Family doesn't evaluate.
Family just is. Sleeping in communal spaces meant shared warmth, shared safety, shared everything. Pile of humans, really, touching, connected, bodies pressed together against cold night. Modern humans would call it lack of boundaries.
Uncomfortable proximity. No personal space.
They would call it survival.
Call it family.
Call it only way sleep felt safe enough to surrender to completely. Different perspectives. Both valid, both producing sleep. Just different quality of rest, mental health creating physical health. Tribe creating both. This is reversed in modern understanding. Modern culture thinks get healthy individually, then socialize. Ancient reality was socialize tribally, health follows automatically. Belonging wasn't luxury, wasn't reward for achievement. Was foundation, was prerequisite, was the thing that made everything else possible, including strength, including power, including capability. Remove tribe, remove everything. That's how human biology works. Feel yourself surrounded by ancient tribe, watching over your sleep across millennia. Feel their presence like warmth.
Like safety.
Like hands holding you even though they're dust. Their DNA in your cells means they're not really gone. They're you, part of you,
living in you,
protecting you still through genetic wisdom that knows how to sleep, how to heal, How to be human in ways conscious mind forgets, but body remembers perfectly. Modern loneliness epidemic killing more people than ancient predators ever did, destroying modern humans from inside, creating inflammation, depression, anxiety, addiction, suicide. Humans aren't designed for isolation,
Aren't built for independence.
aren't optimized for self-sufficiency,
Built for tribe.
for family, for connection so deep it disappears into background as assumed reality rather than exceptional circumstance requiring effort to maintain. You can't recreate their tribe, can't return to that level of enforced proximity and dependence. Modern world offers different connection possibilities: digital connection, chosen family, community based on interests rather than survival necessity. Different, not worse,
Not better.
just adapted to modern context, just trying to meet ancient need in modern ways. Sometimes successfully, sometimes not. Always challenging because fulfilling ancient needs with modern methods is mismatched game. Tonight, connecting to ancient tribe through story, through understanding, through recognition that belonging is human birthright, not achievement, through remembering that your need for connection isn't weakness but biology,
Isn't neediness but humanity.
isn't failing at independence but succeeding at being human. Humans are tribal, have always been tribal, will always be tribal. Fighting, that is, fighting your own nature. Protection imagery now, ancient tribes' hands on your shoulders, their breaths synchronized with yours, their heartbeats matching yours across time, their presence saying, "We survived so you could live, we struggled so you could rest, we connected fiercely so you could connect gently, we're still here."
Still family. Still holding you.
Still watching over your sleep with love that transcends death, time, understanding, everything. Their children are your ancestors. Their grandchildren's grandchildren's grandchildren multiplied across generations are you. Their blood is your blood. Their bones contributed calcium to your bones. Their DNA is your DNA. You're not remembering them. You're remembering yourself. Your own deep past. Your own ancient form. Your family seeing family across vast time.
Of course there's recognition. Of course there's connection.
Of course this story affects you. It's your story.
Your people.
Your tribe across time. Emotional resolution in this truth. Never truly alone. Never separated from human family. Never disconnected from ancient belonging. Your isolation is modern illusion. Temporary condition. Fixable problem. Underneath it, beneath it, deeper than it, tribe remains. In DNA, in cellular memory, in unconscious patterns that activate when given permission.
When reminded.
When story tells truth that bypasses thinking and reaches knowing directly. Strength grows in safety. Safety grows in connection. Connection grows in tribe. This is formula ancient humans lived. Formula that produced their power, their capability, their resilience. You can't replicate their tribe. Can approximate, can build chosen family, can create community, can reach across digital distances for connection that satisfies some ancient needs, if not all. Can do better than isolation even if can't achieve their level of integration. As ancient tribe watches over your sleep, let modern worry fade. Let contemporary isolation feel less absolute. Let understanding that you're part of unbroken human chain stretching back before language, before fire. Before everything make current disconnection feel temporary, survivable. Not permanent condition, but passing circumstance. Tribe exists.
Maybe not nearby.
Maybe not obvious.
Maybe not easy.
But exists.
And you belong to it.
Human tribe.
Ancient family.
Forever clan that claims everyone who shares human DNA, including you, especially you tonight, now, always. Feel that belonging settling into your bones. Feel that acceptance washing through your system. Feel that safety creating foundation for sleep deeper than you've had in months.
Years maybe.
Because safety at this level, ancient tribal safety, that says family will protect you while you're vulnerable, that's what human nervous system needs to truly let go, to truly rest. to truly surrender into sleep that heals everything. And you have it now, through story,
through connection.
through remembering what you've always been, part of tribe, part of family, part of human story that never ends and always includes you. Nothing wrong with what you've become, just different, just adapted, just responding to changed world with changed bodies, changed minds, changed capabilities.
Evolution doesn't make mistakes.
Doesn't go backwards, doesn't create inferior versions, just creates different versions optimized for current conditions. You're not degraded Neanderthal. You're upgraded human for upgraded world. Perfect trade, perfect adaptation. Perfect exactly as you are. The costs of Neanderthal strength were extraordinary. 4,000 calories minimum daily. In a world where calories were scarce, uncertain, dangerous to obtain, they lived on edge of starvation constantly. 3 days without successful hunt meant death. Week without finding food meant entire family gone. Their bodies demanded so much fuel that survival was never assured.
Never comfortable, never easy.
Just barely possible if everything went right. Your body needs half that, can survive weeks without food, can thrive on incredible variety of sources, can extract nutrition from plants they couldn't digest, can make do with less because evolution optimized efficiency. You're not weaker, you're more efficient.
Not inferior.
More adaptable, not degraded, refined, like going from gas-guzzling truck to hybrid. Less raw power, but better overall performance in modern conditions. Feel gratitude for your efficient body, for metabolic flexibility, for ability to survive and thrive without demanding massive constant input, for not being enslaved to appetite that never stops, that can't be satisfied, that kills you if food runs out. They were powerful. You're sustainable. Both valuable.
Both successful.
Both exactly right for different circumstances. Massive caloric requirements meant vulnerability to starvation. Climate shifts that reduced game populations killed them. Hard winters lasting too long killed them. Migration patterns of prey animals changing killed them. Their strength made them specialists. Specialists die when specialization becomes disadvantage, when environment changes, when what worked stops working. Adaptability beats strength every time in long game.
You're here. They're not.
Case closed. Slower reproduction due to physical stress on mothers. Neanderthal women could only have babies every 4 or 5 years. Pregnancy was too demanding. Nursing was too demanding. Bodies couldn't handle more frequent reproduction. Modern human women, weaker but more efficient, could have babies every 2 years, could populate faster, could outbreed despite being outstrengthened. Numbers beat strength. Adaptation beats power. Intelligence beats muscle, always, eventually, inevitably. Your apparent inadequacy is actually your survival strategy. Your weakness that feels like failure is actually evolutionary success. You exist because your ancestors were weaker.
Because they could do more with less.
Because efficiency triumphed over power. Because adaptability beats specialization.
You're not losing game they won.
You're winning different game that requires different strategy that you're executing perfectly. Shorter lifespans from constant physical strain. Their bodies wore out faster. Joints deteriorated earlier. Spines compressed sooner. They were old at 30, dead by 40 typically. Not from disease or injury necessarily.
From just
using themselves up.
From burning too bright.
From running biological engines at maximum constantly with no rest, no mercy, no sustainability. Powerful but fragile.
Strong but temporary.
Impressive but ultimately non-viable long-term. Modern humans living into 70s, 80s, 90s. Weaker but more durable. Less powerful but more sustainable. Capable of longer lives because demanding less from bodies. Because strength isn't constantly depleting. Because efficiency creates durability. You might not be able to bench press 500 pounds, but you'll live long enough that it doesn't matter. Survival measured in years, not maximum lifts. They win strength contest. You win existence contest. Guess which one evolution cares about? Limited cognitive resources devoted to movement and strength. Their brains spending enormous processing power on motor control, on spatial navigation, on body management. Modern humans freed that cognitive bandwidth for abstract thinking, for planning, for creativity, for innovation, for everything that makes human civilization possible. They were physically perfect.
Cognitively limited.
You're physically adequate, cognitively exceptional. Better trade, smarter trade, evolutionary trade that produced everything you know as human advancement. Feel your big, beautiful brain working even as it winds down towards sleep. Feel the cognitive complexity you have that they never approached.
Feel your ability to imagine, to create, to plan, to understand, to communicate, to think about thinking. They couldn't do this.
Couldn't touch this level of mental capacity. Too much brain devoted to body. Not enough left over for higher function. Your weakness bought your consciousness.
Worthy trade.
Perfect trade. Best trade ever made. Homo sapiens traded strength for adaptability, for broader diet, for faster breeding, for cognitive flexibility, for cooperation with strangers, for innovation speed, for everything that makes humans dominant species. Modern humans outlasted Neanderthals because you were weaker. Because weakness was actually strength in disguise. Because in changing world, rigid power loses to flexible adaptation every single time without exception. Your inadequacy is your adaptation. Your weakness is your wisdom. Your softness is your success.
Every way you feel less than them is actually way you're more than them.
More adaptable,
More flexible.
more capable of thriving in varied conditions, more able to change without genetic evolution, more human in ways that matter for long-term species success.
You're not failing at being them,
You're succeeding at being you,
at being what humans became.
at being what worked. As ancient strength fades into history, rest in perfection of what you are now. Rest in understanding that evolution chose you over them, chose your body type over theirs, chose your capabilities over their capabilities.
You're not accident, not mistake, not degraded version.
Your selected version, chosen version,
Version that worked when theirs.
didn't. Winner in evolution's slow, ruthless game where
Only prize is continued existence, and you're here and they're not, so you.
won. Completely, finally, absolutely, every gain requires loss. Every loss enables gain. This is fundamental truth of existence. They gained impossible strength, lost cognitive flexibility. You gained mental capacity, lost physical power. Both trades, both necessary, both creating viable humans for their contexts. Neither superior in absolute terms, both perfect in relative circumstances. You can't have everything. Evolution knows this, chooses wisely based on environmental demands. Chose you, your weakness, your efficiency, your adaptability. Chose correctly, obviously, proven by your existence and their extinction. Tonight, integrate both ancient power and modern peace. Carry memory of their strength without shame about yours. Appreciate what they were without rejecting what you are. Honor them by living fully, not by trying to resurrect dead adaptation that served its purpose and fulfilled its role, and can rest now in archaeological record and genetic memory.
They did their part. You're doing yours.
Different parts, different play, different acts in ongoing human drama. Both essential, both beautiful, both exactly right. We carry their DNA but live our own perfect adaptation. Some of their genes still in us, most deleted, edited out, removed by evolution's ruthless editor that only keeps what works for current conditions. The fact you don't have their strength genes means those genes didn't serve ongoing human success, means weakness genes worked better, means what feels like inadequacy is actually optimality, is actually evolutionary approval stamped into your very chromosome saying, this version, this body type, this capability level, this is what works for humans going forward. Let that truth settle into unconscious mind as conscious mind fades. Let understanding work beneath awareness. Let acceptance happen without trying.
You're not broken, Neanderthal.
You're completed modern human, finished product of 300,000 years of refinement. Perfected model for contemporary world.
Exactly right. Exactly enough.
exactly what you should be in every way that actually matters for life you're actually living. Sleep in that knowledge.
Rest in that peace. Dream in that truth. You're not inadequate version of them.
Your successful version of you.
And successful version of you is all you were ever supposed to be. All you need to be.
All evolution requires.
All life demands.
You're meeting that standard perfectly. Every day.
Every moment. Every breath.
Including this one.
Including now.
Including as you drift deeper into sleep that heals, restores, and confirms what you've always been. Exactly right. Forever enough. Perfect. Take something ancient into tomorrow.
Not to change yourself.
Not to prove anything. Not to become more like them. Just to honor them. Just to touch that ancestral wisdom. Just to feel connection across time in small practical ways that fit modern life without disrupting it. Just options. Just possibilities. Just gentle suggestions for those drawn to them.
No pressure. No obligation. No requirement. Just
available if you want, carrying heavy things regularly.
Even just groceries. Take extra bags.
Make fewer trips. Feel weight in hands. Notice how body responds. Modern convenience says make it easy.
Ancient wisdom says feeling weight grounds you.
Reminds you you're animal with body that can bear loads.
Not training. Not exercise. Just
carrying things because things need carrying. The way they carried everything because everything needed carrying and convenience didn't exist. Small echo of ancient reality in modern context. Your body knows how to carry. Has carried for millions of years. Giving it opportunity to remember feels good in ways you can't articulate.
Not building muscle necessarily.
Building connection to ancient function, to prehistoric purpose, to genetic memory that says, yes, this is what hands do, what back does, what body is for, not decoration, not ornament, tool that works, that carries,
that bears,
that functions walking barefoot when safe, in your home, in your yard if you have one,
on beach if near one,
feeling ground directly, letting foot adapt to surface instead of surface adapted for foot. They never wore shoes that cushioned and supported and corrected. Just feet, just ground, just connection.
Feet got stronger.
Balance improved. Body integrated with earth in way shoes prevent. Not suggesting you go barefoot everywhere, just sometimes, when safe, when possible. When it calls you, modern shoes are a wonderful invention. Protect feet, prevent injury, make modern life possible. Not suggesting you abandon them, suggesting you remember sometimes what feet feel like free, what ground feels like real, what connection feels like unmediated, briefly, occasionally, when you're drawn to it.
Not program, not regimen, not rule, just option, sleeping colder occasionally.
Lower thermostat slightly, remove blanket, crack window in winter. Nothing extreme, nothing dangerous, just less perfectly comfortable. Let body respond with gentle thermogenesis, with mild metabolic activation, with tiny echo of what they faced every night. Then warm up, appreciate heat more.
Feel contrast.
Experience the satisfaction they felt getting to fire after being cold.
Modern context. Safe experimentation.
Small touch of ancient reality or don't. Stay warm. Stay comfortable. That's fine too. That's the whole point of modern life. You get choice. They didn't. Choice is luxury, is freedom, is proof you won. Using that choice to sometimes touch ancient experiences is honoring them. Using it to stay comfortable always is honoring your life. Both valid, both fine. Both your choice to make freely. Eating when hungry, not by clock. Honoring natural rhythms. Waiting for genuine appetite, not scheduling food but responding to body's requests. They ate when food was available, which wasn't predictable.
Modern version is eating when hunger is genuine, which might not be meal times. Intermittent fasting accidentally.
Natural feeding pattern, not diet.
Not restriction, just listening to body instead of clock.
If it calls you, if it works.
If it feels right. No nutrition advice here.
Your diet is your business. Just suggesting that ancient eating pattern was need-based, not schedule-based. And sometimes modern bodies respond well to remembering that, to skipping breakfast if not hungry, to eating large meal if genuinely ravenous, to following appetite instead of routine, maybe, possibly, if it works for you.
Not should.
Not must, just might. Moving constantly in small ways instead of exercising in big chunks. Walking while talking. Stretching while watching TV. Squatting while waiting. Carrying things upstairs that could wait. Taking stairs for one floor. Standing sometimes instead of sitting.
Not workout. Not training. Just moving throughout day the way they moved constantly, because movement was life and stillness was death. Modern context.
Small scale. But maybe more natural pattern than gym session than sitting rest of day. Feel your own body's desire to move sometimes. Not structured exercise necessarily, just shifting, adjusting, stretching, walking, using. Your body isn't meant to be still for 8 hours, then active for 1 hour, then still again. Once motion distributed, constant low-level activity.
That's ancient pattern. That's what bodies expect.
Modern world makes it difficult but not impossible. Just something to consider. Choose one tiny ancient practice for tomorrow. Or choose nothing. Both fine, both acceptable. Rest tonight knowing you don't need to change anything. Don't need to do anything.
Are already enough. Already complete. Already perfect.
But if something calls you, if something resonates, if something feels like connection to ancient wisdom your body remembers, try it gently, without expectation, without judgment, just experiment. This video is your nightly return to ancient truth, your bedtime ritual, your bridge between modern chaos and ancient peace, your permission slip to rest completely.
Coming back here tomorrow night and every night doesn't make you weak. Makes you human. Makes you connected.
Makes you wise enough to use tools available for needs you have. This tool works. This story helps. This connection heals.
Use it without shame.
Return without guilt. Rest with gratitude. Tomorrow maybe carry something heavy with pride. Maybe walk barefoot briefly. Maybe eat when hungry instead of when scheduled. Maybe move constantly instead of exercising once. Maybe sleep colder than appreciate warmth more. Maybe do nothing differently and just carry this understanding forward that you're exactly right as you are. All choices valid. All approaches acceptable. All ways of being human working perfectly in modern context. Wake with ancient whisper in your bones, not commanding change.
Not demanding action, just reminding your animal, your body,
your physical being with millions of years of genetic wisdom. Modern life sometimes makes you forget. This story helped you remember.
That memory doesn't need to create obligation.
Just awareness, just appreciation, just connection to something deeper than modern moment.
That's enough. That's everything.
That's all this section offers. There's strength protecting you in practical ways now. Not through your muscles matching theirs, through understanding changing your perspective, through knowledge creating peace, through connection across time healing modern disconnection. They give you strength still, just not physical kind.
Mental strength,
emotional strength, spiritual strength, perspective strength,
peace strength,
rest strength. That's what ancient wisdom provides modern humans. That's the gift they still offer. That's what you're receiving right now as consciousness continues fading, as sleep continues approaching, as ancient truth continues integrating beneath awareness into places that don't need thinking to access, to benefit from, to be changed by forever. Feel your breath. The same air ancient lungs breathed, same oxygen,
same nitrogen,
same atmospheric composition that sustained humans for millions of years. Your breath connects you across all time to every human who ever lived.
Every ancestor.
Every ancient relative. Every Neanderthal who breathed and lived and eventually stopped breathing and died, but whose DNA flows in you still. Breath is continuity, is connection, is proof of unbroken chain from them to you. Breathe and remember. Breathe and connect. Breathe and let ancient breathing patterns begin teaching your modern lungs forgotten wisdom. Barrel chests with 30% greater lung capacity, not from training, from genetics, from adaptation to thin cold air and constant physical demand. Their rib cages wider, deeper, more expansive than yours. each breath pulling in more air, processing more oxygen, fueling more activity. Physical advantage you don't have and don't need because your world doesn't demand their level of constant oxygen consumption. Different bodies for different needs, both working perfectly for their purposes. Nasal passages built for extreme cold air warming. Air at -40 degrees would freeze your lungs if you breathed it directly, would damage tissue, would create serious problems. Their nasal passages were longer, more convoluted, more efficient at warming incoming air before it reached lungs. Adaptation to Ice Age breathing. Biological air conditioning system built into face. You don't have this because you don't need this. Your world is climate controlled. Your air is room temperature. Different adaptation unnecessary because problems solved through intelligence instead of biology. Notice your own nose breathing right now. Or maybe your mouth breathing. Most modern humans mouth breathe habitually. It's less efficient but easier when you're stressed, talking constantly, or breathing air that doesn't need warming. They breathed through noses automatically. Always. Mouth breathing didn't happen except during extreme exertion. Nose breathing was default because it warmed air, filtered air, humidified air, made breathing healthier, more effective, more aligned with how respiratory system works optimally. Gently shift to nose breathing if comfortable.
Not forced, not strained, just trying, feeling difference.
Noticing how it changes breath rhythm, how it slows everything down slightly, how it creates different sensation in body. Ancient breathing patterns still available to you,
Still accessible.
still beneficial even though not strictly necessary. Optional optimization.
Available tool.
Yours to use or not as you choose freely, without judgment either way. Automatic. Nose breathing during sleep. They never snored, never had sleep apnea, never mouth breathed their way through night, creating dry mouth and respiratory problems.
Noses stayed open. Breathing stayed efficient. Oxygen delivery stayed optimal.
Sleep quality stayed high. Modern humans struggle with this. Congestion, anatomy, habit creating mouth breathing during sleep, reducing sleep quality, creating health issues, losing connection to ancient breathing wisdom that worked perfectly for hundreds of thousands of years. Oxygen efficiency, allowing endless endurance. Their bodies extracted oxygen from blood more completely, used it more efficiently, created more energy per breath, could run for hours,
Could work all day.
could maintain high activity levels continuously because breathing was optimized, oxygen delivery was maximized, cellular respiration was perfected through evolutionary pressure spanning millennia. You can't match this. Don't need to. Your life doesn't require endless physical endurance. Requires different capacities, different endurance,
Mental endurance.
emotional endurance.
Cognitive endurance.
You have those. They didn't. Fair trade, equal exchange. Different strengths for different worlds. Breathing synchronized with movement naturally, unconsciously. They never thought about breath control, never practiced breathing techniques. Body just knew. Inhale on expansion, exhale on exertion. Automatic coordination between breath and motion that optimized both. Modern humans lose this connection. Breathe randomly, fight against natural patterns, create inefficiency. They were efficient without trying because trying was an option. Body had to work correctly or death followed.
Harsh teacher.
Perfect results. Non-reproducible in safe modern context. Your breathing is slowing naturally as you relax, deepening automatically as consciousness lowers. This is ancient pattern too. Pre-sleep breathing changes, becomes more diaphragmatic, more regular, more peaceful. Your body knows this.
Has always known this.
Does it every night when given permission, when allowed, when not fighting it with stress or stimulation or effort. Right now, permission is given. Allowing is happening.
Ancient sleep breathing is beginning. Let it. Trust it.
Surrender to it completely. Close your eyes if they're not already closed. Picture peaceful breathing.
Ancient nose structure.
Wide nostrils.
Long passages.
Efficient warming system.
Modern person breathing deeply.
Learning from ancient design.
Not trying to change anatomy.
just trying to use what exists more like it was designed to be used.
Nose breathing.
Deep breathing, peaceful breathing, breath that heals instead of just sustaining, that calms instead of just oxygenating, that connects instead of just functioning, breath that remembers ancient wisdom and brings it forward into modern moment, fading towards sleep now. Everything getting quieter, darker, softer, better. Each night, return to ancient breath.
Make it ritual. Make it practice.
Or don't. Again, choice is yours. But option is here, available, proven across evolutionary time. Nose breathing during sleep optimization. Breath awareness during waking hours. Diaphragmatic breathing during stress.
All ancient patterns.
All still effective. All still beneficial despite being non-essential. Like vitamins for respiratory system.
Won't kill you to skip them.
Might help to use them.
Your core, your body.
Your breath. Your choice completely and forever. Tomorrow, notice breathing during daily tasks. Not to change it, just to observe. Are you breathing through nose or mouth? Are you breathing deeply or shallowly? Is breath synchronized with movement or random?
No judgment, no criticism.
Just noticing, just awareness, just touching ancient wisdom through observation. Maybe that awareness naturally creates slight optimization.
Maybe not.
Either way is fine. Either outcome is acceptable. Just noticing what breath does when left alone versus what breath might do if gently guided toward patterns that worked for millions of years. Ancient breathing protecting your sleep quality, not through force, through gentle return to natural patterns, through giving body permission to breathe the way it wants to breathe when stress isn't forcing. Otherwise, deep, slow, nasal, regular, diaphragmatic, peaceful sleep, breathing that's still programmed into your brainstem from
ancestors who breathed this way every night for hundreds of thousands of years. Still there, still accessible,
still working if you allow it, and you're allowing it now.
Right now.
This moment. As everything continues fading toward perfect rest, that ancient breathing supports, enables, creates, breathe, rest, sleep, be, finally, completely, perfectly. Just like them in this one way that still works, still matters, still connects you across impossible time to family. You never knew, but who live in you still, breathing together,
even now, even here, even as you drift away.
Perfect as you are.
Strong enough for your world.
Capable enough for your challenges. Sufficient enough for your life. This is ultimate truth. This is final understanding. This is the answer to every inadequacy you've ever felt. You don't need their strength.
Never did.
Never will. Your life doesn't require it. Your world doesn't demand it. Your challenges don't need it. You're exactly right already.
Stop trying to be something else.
Stop measuring against irrelevant standard. Stop comparing to extinct adaptation for vanished world. Be you, modern you, weak by their standards you.
Perfect for your context you. Already enough you.
Forever enough you. Neanderthal strength existed in context of necessity. They weren't strong for fun, for pride,
for achievement,
for self-improvement. They were strong because being weak meant death, meant starvation, meant being killed by predators, meant failing to reproduce, meant genetic line ending.
Strength wasn't choice,
wasn't goal,
wasn't value,
was survival requirement in world that demanded everything just to exist another day. They would have chosen modern ease if given choice, would have chosen your soft life over their hard one without hesitation if option existed. Strength was purchased with constant suffering,
constant danger,
constant loss, watching children die, watching partners killed by animals, watching friends starve, living with pain that never stopped, with injuries that never fully healed, with cold that never ended, with hunger that was always one failed hunt away. Their strength came with price tag you can't imagine paying. Don't want to imagine paying, would never choose to pay if choice existed. And choice does exist, and you choose differently. Wisely, correctly, perfectly. Your weakness is your privilege, is your advantage. is proof you live in worlds safe enough that physical power became optional. Modern life allowed focus on art, thought, connection, joy, on things that matter more than survival.
On questions deeper than where's next meal.
On experiences richer than just not dying today. Their strength bought survival. Your weakness enables living.
Actual living. Not just existing. Not just surviving.
But thriving, exploring, creating, becoming, being fully human in ways they never accessed despite their power, despite their capability, despite their impressive physical adaptation. Feel yourself completely at peace with soft life, with easy existence, with comfortable modern reality that doesn't require crushing grip strength or 500-pound bench press or endless physical endurance. Feel gratitude for not needing their strength, for living in a world that solved problems they solved with bodies by solving them with brains instead. Intelligence over power, tools over toughness, cooperation over individual capability. That's human strategy that worked, that won. That produced you in your soft, easy, safe, beautiful, privileged life. Ancient necessity doesn't create modern obligation. You don't owe them strength. Don't owe ancient ancestors return to their ways. Don't owe prehistoric relatives resurrection of dead adaptations. You owe them living fully in world they helped create. Owe them appreciating safety they died to build. Owe them gratitude for struggling so you don't have to. Owe them rest, peace, acceptance of gift they gave across generations, easier life,
Softer existence.
freedom from necessity that defined their every moment.
That's honoring them. That's gratitude.
That's actually understanding what their lives mean for yours. List 3 modern comforts you're grateful for right now. Warmth, safety, food, abundance, indoor plumbing, medicine, books, internet, music, art, family not dying regularly, children surviving, partners living to old age, yourself living past 30. Any of these, all of these, whatever calls to you as you drift deeper into gratitude for what ancient suffering purchased,
For what their hard lives bought.
for what their strength enabled, your weakness, your ease, your privilege to be soft and safe and comfortable and perfectly okay, being none of the things they had to be. Appreciate your soft life. Don't apologize for it. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't diminish it.
It's victory.
It's success. It's the whole point of human evolution, human history, human progress.
Making life easier.
Making survival certain, making safety normal, making comfort available, making strength optional. That's winning.
That's advancement. That's civilization.
That's everything countless generations worked toward without knowing they were working toward it. And you have it. You live it.
You are it.
Victory incarnate, walking proof that human project succeeded. As ancient necessity fades into your past, rest in earned modern peace. Rest knowing you don't have to struggle like they struggled. Don't have to suffer like they suffered. Don't have to be strong like they were strong, because your world doesn't create that necessity. Remove that requirement. Solve those problems.
Set you free from ancient demands. Freedom to be weak.
Freedom to be soft. Freedom to rest completely. That's what they gave you. That's their gift. Accepting it is honoring them. Using it is gratitude. Resting in it is perfect response to their sacrifice. They would want you happy, not strong. Would want you peaceful, not powerful. Would want you resting easily, not struggling constantly. Would want you appreciating modern ease, not romanticizing ancient hardship. Would want you living fully in your time, not trying to resurrect theirs. Would want you being you, not becoming them.
They're gone.
Their world is gone. Their needs are gone. You remain. Your world remains. Your needs remain.
Meet those needs. Live in this world.
Be this you.
That's what they died for, even though they didn't know it. That's what their struggles purchased.
That's how you honor them truly, deeply, completely. Feel any remaining envy of their strength dissolving completely.
Feel comparison fading to nothing.
Feel peace replacing inadequacy. Feel gratitude replacing shame. Feel acceptance replacing judgment. Feel modern life becoming enough, becoming more than enough. Becoming perfect exactly as it is with you in it, exactly as you are. Soft, safe, weak by ancient standards, perfect by relevant standards,
Exactly right.
forever sufficient.
Already complete, they sleep in ancient caves, never knowing you will exist.
Never imagining future where their strength is unnecessary. Never conceiving of world where being weak is being wise. You sleep in modern comfort, never needing their strength. Never facing their dangers.
Never paying their prices.
Both sleeping, both human, both exactly right for their moments.
Let that be final truth.
Let that be complete understanding. Let that be the peace that carries you into deepest sleep you've had in forever.
Knowing you're enough. Always were. Always will be. Perfect. Finally, forever, completely.
True strength now is different, no less valuable, just evolved, just adapted to changed world with changed requirements. Your strengths are real strengths, are actual capabilities that matter immensely in modern context, are things they would envy if they could understand them, if they could access them, if they could develop them. But they couldn't. Their world didn't create opportunity, didn't reward these capacities, didn't select for these traits. You have what they never could have. That's not nothing. That's everything that makes modern life work. That's everything that makes you successful in world as it actually exists. Emotional intelligence they never developed. Ability to read social cues, to navigate complex relationships, to process subtle emotional information, to communicate feelings effectively, to build connections across difference, to cooperate with strangers, to create trust with people who aren't family. They couldn't do this, struggled with this, failed at this. Their emotional intelligence was limited to tight family unit. Beyond that, nothing. You have capacity to understand and connect with anyone, anywhere. That's strength, that's power, that's adaptation worth having in interconnected global world. Abstract thinking creating possibilities they never imagined. Ability to plan years ahead, to imagine alternative futures, to think hypothetically, to reason about things that don't exist, to create mental models, to solve problems before they happen, to innovate continuously, to adapt without genetic change. That's your superpower. That's your advantage. That's what made modern humans dominant and Neanderthals extinct. Your brain does things theirs couldn't. That's strength more valuable than 500-pound grip, more useful than endless physical endurance, more important than any physical capacity they possessed. Creativity building entire civilizations, art, music, story, culture. Everything humans created beyond survival, everything that makes life worth living beyond just staying alive. They had minimal creativity, basic tools, simple solutions, functional approaches. You have infinite creativity, complex expression, endless innovation. You create because you can, because your brain has capacity freed from constant survival focus, because weakness in body meant strength in mind, fair trade, perfect trade, evolutionary trade that produced everything beautiful about human existence, communication, creating cooperation they never achieved, language complexity, written word, recorded knowledge, information sharing across distance and time. You can learn from people you'll never meet, from people who died centuries ago, from people on other side of world. They learned only from immediate family, only from direct experience, only from tiny slice of human knowledge. Your access to information is godlike from their perspective, is magic, is incomprehensible advantage that makes physical strength completely irrelevant. Name one strength you have they never could. Patience with ambiguity, comfort with complexity, ability to hold contradictory ideas simultaneously, skill at delayed gratification, capacity for abstract planning, tolerance for diversity, appreciation for beauty that serves no survival function. Any of these, all of these, whatever calls to you as you recognize your own capabilities, your own powers, your own strengths that are absolutely real, even though completely different from theirs. Appreciate yourself. Finally, completely. Truthfully, your superior mental and emotional power created modern world, created safety, created abundance, created medicine, created technology, created everything that makes life better than survival. Physical strength created survival, mental strength created thriving. You have mental strength, you have emotional strength, you have creative strength, you have communicative strength, you have all the strengths that actually matter for making life good rather than just possible. That's winning, that's success, that's having capacities that count in world as it exists rather than world as it was. As their physical strength fades to history, rest in your actual powers, in your real capabilities, in your genuine advantages. You're not powerless, not weak in ways that matter, not inadequate in areas that count. You're strong exactly where modern life requires strength, exactly where your challenges demand capability, exactly where your world needs you to be powerful. Different power, different strength, but real, valuable, sufficient, perfect. Modern human creating art they never could, thinking thoughts they never had, solving problems they never faced, building connections they never made, living life they never imagined. That's you, that's your strength, that's your power, that's your victory over ancient limitations. You're not weaker version of them, you're advanced version of human, updated model, improved design for current conditions, better at what actually matters now, even if worse at what mattered then. Feel pride in your strengths without shame about theirs. Feel capability in your powers without inadequacy about their powers. Feel success in your being without comparison to their being. You're complete, you're sufficient, you're strong in ways that count, in ways that matter, in ways that make actual difference in life you're actually living. That's all strength needs to be. That's all power needs to accomplish. Making your life work, making your world navigable, making your challenges manageable. And your strengths do that perfectly, completely, successfully every day. Tomorrow, use your real powers with confidence. Think complex thoughts, feel complex feelings, create complex solutions, communicate complex ideas, connect across complex distances. Do all the things your evolved human brain enables that their powerful bodies never could enable. That's your birthright. That's your inheritance. That's what evolution gave you in exchange for taking physical power. Worthy trade, smart trade. Trade that worked so well you exist and they don't. Case closed. Argument won. Strength redefined correctly. Finally, completely. Sleep knowing you're strong, differently strong, modernly strong, appropriately strong, exactly right for your life, strong. No qualification needed, no comparison necessary, no caveat required, just strong. In ways that matter, in ways that work, in ways that make you successful human in world as it exists. That's all strength ever needed to be, all power ever needed to accomplish. You have it, you are it, you embody it perfectly. Rest in that truth, sleep in that knowledge, dream in that confidence. Wake tomorrow knowing you're strong enough, always were, always will be, just different strong than ancient strong, better strong for modern context, right strong for your life, perfect, strong, finally, forever, completely. Their intelligence would envy your intelligence, their communication would envy your communication, their creativity would envy your creativity, their emotional capacity would envy your emotional capacity. If they could understand what you have, they'd recognize you as superior, as advanced, as having won lottery they never entered. You have their DNA plus additions. They're baseline plus upgrades. They're human plus more, not less, plus more. Remember that. Know that. Sleep on that truth that says you're not degraded ancient human, you're enhanced modern human, better in ways that matter more, stronger in strengths that count more, winning at game that matters more, successfully human in way that's more successful by every measure except irrelevant physical power that doesn't determine anything anymore about human worth, human capability, human success, human value, human completeness, human perfection, which you have, which you are, which describes you exactly, right now, forever, done. You've journeyed 50,000 years tonight, walked alongside extinct humans,
Felt their power.
understood their struggles,
Recognized your connection.
and now it's time to rest, to sleep, to let everything integrate beneath consciousness while consciousness itself fades into dreams, into darkness, into that ancient, peaceful nothing where all humans go when day ends and body finally gets to stop working, stop trying, stop being anything except alive and breathing and present. And here may you sleep with peace of ancient caves, with safety of ancient tribes, with surrender of ancient humans who had no choice but to trust night completely because fighting it was impossible, resisting it was pointless, accepting it was only option. May that surrender become yours. May that trust transfer across time.
May their ability to let go completely become your ability right now. They give you this.
This gift, this permission, this blessing to stop trying and just be. May you wake with strength that matters in your world.
Not their strength.
Your strength,
Mental strength.
emotional strength, spiritual strength, creative strength, all the powers that make modern life work, all the capabilities that make you successful, all the capacities that make you enough. May tomorrow bring opportunities to use those real strengths, to appreciate those actual powers, to recognize your own sufficiency in ways that matter. May you carry their genes with pride and your own gifts with confidence. You're them plus more, them plus additions, them plus upgrades.
Carry ancient blood without ancient obligation.
Carry prehistoric DNA without prehistoric demands. Carry evolutionary heritage without evolutionary pressure. You're free.
Free to be weak.
Free to be soft. Free to be exactly what you are. And what you are is exactly what you should be. They made sure of that. Their struggles ensured your ease. Their deaths enabled your life. Their suffering purchased your peace. May you rest knowing your answer to their ancient prayers.
Even though they didn't pray. Didn't hope for future.
Didn't imagine descendants. You're still what they worked toward without knowing. Still what their lives pointed toward without intending. Still what their existence made possible without planning.
Your victory.
Your success. Your proof that human project worked. That evolution knew what it was doing. That weakness wasn't failure but strategy that won game they didn't even know they were playing. Final scene now, Neanderthal family sleeping in cave 50,000 years ago. Fire dying to embers. Soft orange glow pulsing slower and slower. Shadows dancing on ancient walls, painting same pictures that have danced on walls since humans first made fire, first found shelter, first created safety from night that terrified every animal except humans who learned to burn darkness back with captured light. Children nestled between parents.
Everyone touching someone. No space between bodies. Warmth shared. Safety collective.
Breath synchronized without trying. Hearts beating together without knowing. Perfect peace that came not from ease, but from exhaustion. Not from comfort, but from survival.
Not from choice, but from necessity.
But peace nonetheless.
Real peace.
Complete peace.
Ancient peace. Perfect silence now except breathing and wind outside cave.
Wind that's blown for billions of years. Wind that will blow billions more. Wind that connected them to you across time by blowing same air that became their breath and eventually became your breath.
Everything connected, everything continuous.
Everything one long, unbroken flow of existence from them to you across distance so vast it seems impossible, except it's not, because here you are. Product of their survival. Result of their struggles.
Answer to their unconscious prayers.
Living their dream they never knew to dream. Being their hope they never knew to hope.
Living their victory they never knew they were winning. The last moment before they fade from history approaches in scene playing in your mind.
The last night before everything changed. Before modern humans arrived. Before competition began that they would lose. Before worlds shifted one final time in ways their bodies couldn't adapt to fast enough.
They don't know this is ending.
Don't know they're last of their kind approaching extinction. Don't know anything except tired, fed, safe, together. That's enough for them. That's all they ever needed. That's the simple completeness you're remembering right now, that you're accessing right now, that you're falling into right now. As they drift deeper into past, drift deeper to sleep. As their consciousness fades across time, let your consciousness fade into rest. As they let go of their world, let go of all thoughts about your world. As they pass torch to your species, accept it in your sleep by sleeping deeper than you have in months, years, maybe ever.
Accept their gift by using it.
Accept their sacrifice by benefiting from it. Accept their love across time by loving yourself enough to rest completely, finally, perfectly now. As they become memory, become dreams. As they dissolve into prehistory, dissolve into unconsciousness. As they transform from people to fossils to stories to whatever you make of them in your sleeping mind, let transformation happen. Let change occur. Let sleep come without resistance, without fighting, without anything except surrender to what wants to happen, what needs to happen, what's already happening.
Right now, as words continue, but
Meaning fades and consciousness lowers, and ancient human pattern of surrendering to sleep takes over from modern human need.
pattern of fighting it. Tomorrow night, return here to remember what you are.
Return to this story, this journey, this connection across impossible time. Let this be ritual.
Let this be routine. Let this be bedtime pattern that signals safety, that creates peace, that allows rest.
Each sleep reconnecting to 50,000 years of human story. Each rest touching ancient peace. Each dream continuing conversation with ancestors who live in you still. This story your bridge, your passage, your way back and way forward simultaneously.
Use it, need it, love it, return to it.
Let it work. Let it help. Let it do what stories have always done since first human told first story at first fire. Help us process, understand, accept, rest, sleep, survive, thrive, be human together across all time, all distance, all difference, connecting finally, completely, eternally. Final blessing before silence comes, sleep now as they slept. Not in their conditions,
Not with their challenges.
not facing their dangers, but with their quality of surrender, with their depth of trust, with their completeness of release. They had to let go completely every night because holding on was impossible. You get to let go completely tonight because holding on is unnecessary. Same result, different path. Both arriving at perfect rest. Both accessing ancient peace. Both sleeping like humans have slept since beginning of everything human. Dream now as they couldn't. Of possibilities they never imagined.
Of futures they never conceived.
Of complexity they never accessed. Of beauty they never created.
Of thoughts they never had.
Dream with your advanced human brain freed from survival focus. Dream with your creative consciousness capable of impossible things. Dream bigger than they ever dreamed because your brain can contain bigger dreams.
That's your gift. That's your power. That's what weakness brought you. Use it, even in sleep, especially in sleep.
Dream gloriously. Rest now in knowledge you're exactly who you're supposed to be. Not supposed to be like obligation. Supposed to be like inevitable outcome of evolution's perfect process across millions of years. Producing exactly right human for exactly right time in exactly right place, doing exactly right things, living exactly right life. You, not them.
Not ancient, powerful, extinct them. Modern, sufficient, successful you. Right you.
Perfect you.
Only you that's possible. Only you that exists. Only you that matters, because only you that's here, now, real, alive, breathing, being, existing, enough. Good night, ancient child.
You carry their blood but aren't them. You hold their DNA but aren't bound by their limitations. You remember their story but write your own. You honor their struggles but don't recreate their suffering. You appreciate their strength but don't need their power.
You're their legacy transformed.
Their continuation evolved. Their victory made manifest in soft, safe, weak, beautiful, complete, modern human. Good night, sleep, rest, be good night, modern miracle. Because that's what you are.
Miracle of evolution that started before humans existed and continues through you right now.
Miracle of adaptation that never stops, never rests, never completes, but always works perfectly for moment that exists. Miracle of survival that meant your ancestors never failed, never gave up, never stopped reproducing across thousands of generations, facing challenges that would destroy you in moments, but they conquered somehow, impossibly, successfully enough that you exist now to hear this story. Miracle, you, miracle, always, forever. Good night.
Beautiful human.
Beautiful not despite weakness, but including it. Beautiful not despite softness, but because of it. Beautiful not despite being so far from ancient power, but precisely in that distance which represents progress, evolution, success, winning. Beautiful in your modern complexity, in your emotional depth, in your creative capacity, in your intellectual sophistication, in your ability to rest completely because world is safe enough that rest is possible.
Beautiful exactly as you are right now, in this moment, forever.
Perfect in your weakness. Not perfect meaning flawless. Perfect meaning exactly right for circumstances. Exactly matched to environment. Exactly appropriate for challenges. Exactly sufficient for needs. Perfect fit between who you are and what life requires. Perfect adaptation between your capabilities and your world's demands.
Perfect human for this time, this place, this life.
Not ancient perfect.
Modern perfect. Real perfect.
You're perfect. True perfect.
Only perfect that matters. Good night.
The word stretches, elongates, becomes sound without meaning, becomes vibration without content, becomes signal that means only one thing: stop.
Stop thinking. Stop trying. Stop being awake.
Stop everything except breathing and beating and existing and letting sleep come like tide, like inevitability, like gravity, like everything natural and unstoppable and right. Good night, stretching into forever, into darkness, into peace,
Into nothing.
into sleep. Slow fade now, from ancient cave to your bedroom, from their world to yours, from 50,000 years ago to now, from them to you, from past to present, from story to sleep, from consciousness to unconsciousness, from awake to asleep. Fade, continuing, slowing, darkening, quieting, everything getting less. Less bright, less loud,
Less present. Less awake. Less conscious.
less everything except rest, peace, darkness, sleep. Finally, completely, perfectly, now. Ancient and modern, superimposed briefly. Their cave becomes your room. Their fire becomes your lamp. Their family becomes your solitude that's actually connection across time. Their exhaustion becomes your relaxation. Their necessity becomes your choice. Their surrender becomes your surrender.
Same underneath.
Different on surface, both producing sleep, both creating rest, both allowing tomorrow.
Both exactly right. Both human. Both perfect. Both fading now.
Both almost gone, both nearly asleep. Final shot in your mind, peaceful sleeping face.
Whose face? Ancient face? Modern face? Your face?
Doesn't matter.
All faces. Every human who ever slept. Every ancestor who ever rested.
Every person who ever surrendered tonight and trusted morning would come.
That face, universal face.
Human face.
Sleeping face.
Peaceful face. Your face now as consciousness finally, completely, eternally lets go and sleep takes over and story ends and rest begins and nothing remains except breath. Heartbeat, existence, peace, sleep, sleep, sleep. Screen gently darkening now.
Metaphorical screen in imagination. Last image fading. Ancient cave going dark as fire dies completely.
Last embers losing glow. Last orange light becoming grey. Grey becoming black. Black becoming complete.
Complete darkness. Perfect darkness.
Darkness that meant safety for 300,000 years. Darkness that means sleep. Darkness that means rest. Darkness that means letting go. Darkness that holds you now. Darkness that loves you. Darkness that says stop fighting.
Stop trying.
Stop being anything except to sleep.
Listen to darkness.
Trust darkness. Become darkness. Become nothing. Become sleep, perfect darkness. Perfect silence. Perfect nothing where sleep lives. Where rest waits. Where peace exists permanently for everyone who stops fighting it and just surrenders. Just accepts. Just allows. Just becomes sleep. Finally, now, completely, forever in this moment that lasts eternity of night. Sleep. Ancient blessing. Modern need. Eternal human pattern. Sleep. The answer. The solution. The peace. The rest. The healing. The everything. Sleep. You don't need to stay awake anymore. Permission granted.
Obligation removed. Freedom given.
Sleep allowed. Sleep encouraged. Sleep inevitable. Sleep happening. Sleep here.
Sleep now. Sleep. 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 The story is complete.
The journey is finished. The connection is made. The truth is told. The peace is offered. The blessing is given. The permission is granted. The sleep is here. You can let go now. You can stop now. You can rest now. You can sleep now. Everything said that needed saying. Everything understood that needed understanding. Everything resolved that needed resolving. Complete, finished, done, sleep, good night, good night, good night.
Words fading to nothing.
Meaning dissolving. Sound becoming silence. Silence becoming sleep. Sleep becoming everything.
Everything becoming nothing.
Nothing becoming perfect.
Perfect becoming now. Now becoming forever.
Forever becoming this moment. This moment becoming sleep. Sleep becoming you. You becoming sleep. Sleep. Just sleep.
Only sleep. Sleep.